This is not an ad. It's a warning. I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces, that will enter through those cracks and will stay and live in you. Run. Run. No, better stay in Manhattan. Get an apartment in Berlin. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Don't listen to the poets who have been here. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Dolor de Nieve. Ay, ay! But, in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Welcome to the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event.
We're gonna experience an insane wingfoil competition.
This one is gonna stay in my mind forever.
It's gonna be sick.
What are we going to be seeing next?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day number 2 here for the Tarifa Wing Pro. I'm Josie Asher. Joining me one more time, Liam Dredge. What a first day of competition we had here. 13 solid hours of action out there. Started off a little chilly, to say the least. It was raining cats and dogs, and then that sun started to come out. Today, just look at what we have here. It's sunny. This is the Tarifa we wanted to see, and also that poniente, that cross onshore wind is starting to flicker through. I reckon we're going to be getting on the water very soon.
An exciting day ahead, to say the least. I mean, the level of competition that we saw yesterday was absolutely incredible. We were able to wrap up the women's with Nia Suarez taking the title and defending it at our home spot here in Tarifa once again. We're now going to kickstart this day, day number 2, with the quarterfinals of the men. Some heavy, big names there, the likes of Chris McDonald, Alan Fedit, Bastien Escobar. The list goes on, and it's just innovation after innovation after innovation. New moves being landed pretty much in every single heat, and it's even sometimes quite hard to stay in tune with it all. But that's what makes this sport great. This sport is developing, and we're here in Tarifa. Can't get enough of it. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. There is plenty of action to follow.
And good morning, everybody. Day number 2, Liam. We are here and we are ready. The Poniente is already starting to make its way across, and it looks like we are going to go into sequence. At the moment, we are on standby, but a little birdie has just told me that we are going to be going red flag up in about 3 minutes.
Really excited for day 2. I mean, quarterfinals of the men. We finished with Nia Suarez taking the title yesterday, as said. And yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see what we're going to get. As you mentioned, you know, this morning the wind has shifted now, and as soon as it shifted, we saw all the riders be like, "We're on."
Yeah,
wings were getting pumped up, and here we go.
One of the things I love when it kind of starts off kind of mellow,
it does.
As soon as that little sea breeze starts to come in, you can see the electricity, the nerves starting to bubble. I mean, you know, let's not forget, quarterfinals of the World Championship. It is Friday down here in Tarifa. It's also a public holiday, meaning that the beaches are going to be rammed. They're going to see, you know, they're going to have to pick out the people, make sure they get the smiles and the vibes, and our athletes are definitely ready.
For sure, yeah. I mean, as you said, I mean, it was actually one of the local boys, Jerome. He was the first one to message and say, it's going to be a good day. And if there's someone that knows this spot better than anyone else, it's Jerome. I mean, there's a few locals as well still in it at their home spot. And I mean, I've been looking at the ladder as well. The quarterfinals are basically like a final. So, yeah, if you're at home watching, firstly, welcome. We can't wait to take you on this journey because it's going to be epic.
Yeah, it definitely is. Well, we are going to be going down to the beach now as we are going to be starting very soon. Our athletes are ready to go. So I hope you guys enjoy all of the action. Quarterfinals are coming your way.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so very, very shortly we're going to be getting underway. You can see red flag is up, so just a couple of minutes away. But before we go into competition, we caught up with one of our judges, Emilio, and he's going to explain exactly the judging criteria.
So judging criteria here in Tarifa, we are looking for difficult tricks. So the skill level is it's gonna be rewarded. As well, the amplitude, as always, how high they go, how clean they land the moves, and but we are also looking forward a lot to innovations, because here is the perfect playground for the riders to show us the new moves they are working on. So innovation moves are playing a big role in this competition. We are coming from Leucate. We were having super strong winds there in Leucate, super difficult conditions, super gusty, and the riders couldn't show us all those different and new moves that they were working on. And here they are doing it. They are showing us the new moves, and we are very pleased to see those moves.
Brilliant stuff there. And here we have it, our riders. Quarterfinal, the first quarterfinal of the day. Alexander Archer, Bastien Escofet, Alan Fedit, and Axel Gerard. Those are the four heavy hitters that are going to be taking centre stage for the first heat of day number 2 here in the sunny, beautiful Tarifa. We're at Val de Vaqueros Beach, and we have had a great day of action yesterday where we wrapped up the women's. We're now in the quarterfinals of the men, and it's a beautiful time to be here. The Poniente wind has come in, and it will be there ready to go for the rest of the day. The sun is out, the wind is on, and our riders are now on the water, ready to compete and fight for a place in the semi-final. So there you go. You can see from the drone, the red flag is up. Here we have Alexander Archer. He's on a 4-meter wing. His brother Thomas also still in the competition, and he will be jumping first. First trick of the day. What does the youngster have for us? Plenty of innovation we've seen from numerous riders in this fleet. So it's going to be interesting to see what Alexander starts off with here, with a front flip into a frontside 3. So going for the early combo, keeps it together as well. Nice score on the board. As we watch the replay here, you can see he gets a nice amount of height there, rotates beautifully into that frontside 3 where he gets a lot of pop. That's exactly what the judges are looking for in these combos, that the pop to pop is really, really important. They want to see a quick, fluid motion after that first move, and it's important to note that if riders go for a combo and they crash that second maneuver, the whole trick itself goes down as a crash, even if they perfect that first front flip. So here we have a guy that wants to compete and go all the way through to the final. Bastien Escofet is an absolute machine and is one of those riders that is really taking this sport to new levels, to new heights, really pushing the boat out the water. How is he going to open up? We know he likes to do those big sort of delayed front flips as well. He's also been doing the double back rolls we saw a lot of yesterday. But let's see what the French rider has in store for us. Goes to that sort of one-handed backflip with a frontside 3 going down. Lands it nicely as well. So a 5.97 there for Alex, opening up there for that combination. As we watch the replay previously from Alex, let's see if we can try and get Bastien's replay. So Alan Fedit, unfortunately not able to get Bastien's there, but you can see we've got 3 French riders in the fleet here. Alan Fedit and Axel Gerard are actually teammates, both riding the AFS. And there we have Alan Fedit, who's just turning around now and coming back in towards the box. Coming left foot forward. One of those riders, again, like Bastien, shows plenty of variety, plenty of innovation. Looks like he's on a big wing as well. That must be maybe a 4.5. Maybe we can see, or maybe even a 5. Looks like a 5, in fact, on the wingtip there. You can just about see, if my eyes do me justice. Yep, they do.
And he goes wraps it around. He does a trick, actually, which is like a sort of a cork 7, which we see Alan pretty much do all the time. I think he scored one up in the 9s yesterday. But the first move there for Alan goes down as a crash. Bastien there for that back loop with a frontside 3 on the way down. Scored a 7.17. And now we go over to Axel Gerard, another youngster in this heat. So here we go, riding the AFS gear, pops up, front flip into just the front flip. Looks like maybe he wanted that front side 3, but nonetheless will be a score on the board. So let me just tell you, guys and girls watching, what the sort of criteria is, okay? How many tricks are they going to get? How many tricks are actually going to count to their combined score? Well, it's 7 trick attempts. So each rider will have 7 attempts. This goes from all the way from now all the way to the end. And 3 of those tricks are going to be counting towards their overall score. It's important that 3 of those tricks are also in different categories. Okay, so they can't do the same trick 3 times and get rewarded 3 different scores. They've got to tick different families: back loops, back flips, front flips, combos, innovation. There's plenty out there. So here we have Alexander Archer. He's got that combo category. Now he's going for a front side 7, which will go down as a crash, okay? So Alexander going on a crash for trick attempt number 2. But that's another category there, the front side 7s. And now we move over to Bastien, current heat leader, Axel Gerard, with a 6.27 for that front flip. So nice score for him. Now, Bastien, let's see how he is doing actually over in Le Cat as well on the last event of the year. He had a 5th place finish there, picked up 580 points. So we'll definitely be wanting to finish a little bit higher here in Tarifa. Let's see what he has. He goes right foot forward. What do we got? Front flip. Wanted the combo, I think, as well. Similar execution to what Axel Gerard had for his first move. So look at those 2 scores. Compare them as you wish. Axel Gerard had a 6.27 front flip. I think that was quite similar in height and execution there for Bastien. So I would imagine it will be a similar score, maybe a little bit higher. I think he just came out of it a little bit smoother back onto the foil. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's on the high 6s. As you can see there, scores up in the top left-hand side, and it tells you exactly who is in what position. Bastien Esquivet at the moment just with that 7.17. Score also still to drop for Mr. Esquivet, as there it is, 14.10 now combined. He did get that front loop, which was a 6.93, as we see Alan Fedit now go for his second trick attempt. That was not a crash either, so he'll now finally get some scores on the board. Over to Gerard now. Another rider that is no stranger when it comes to placing on the podium. He's had some good results at previous events here and generally on the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour. And you can see he's just sort of going around in circles there, waiting for the right gust to come, waiting for that right moment to compete. Okay, so here we go now. We're following Axel Gerard still. Comes out of that one nicely, catching the back end of that there. So unfortunately, we weren't able to see that trick. Let's have a little look, see if we can grab a replay maybe. But now we go back into sequence, so with Alex. So here he is on your screen, Alex Archer. He's got his brother Thomas, as I mentioned, both riding for the Duotone. They're in the Young Bloods team, really pushing, and have joined the GWA Tour last year, I believe, towards the back end. And have most certainly put their name on the table. I mean, these kids are ripping. I think his brother Thomas had one of the best heats of the day yesterday. I think 2 innovation scores came from it. You know, high 8s, early 9s. One of the highest combined heat scores that we've seen so far in the event. So let's see what Alex can do now as well. Looking pretty loaded up on that 4-meter wing. What does he want? He had a crash on the last one. Are we going to see a front side 7 again? He goes for the front flip. And just ticks that front flip category. Nicely done. Okay, so how did that then compare, everyone, with Bastien and Axel's front flip? We see a 6.93 and a 6.27. I reckon it might just squeeze in the middle there. Maybe be more inclined towards the score that Bastien got. But speaking of Bastien, here he is on your screen now, third trick attempt. Maybe we'll be looking to land this one so that he has 3 on the board and can then be a little bit more playful in the rest of his heat. So here we go now, Bastien. Loves to do his tricks right foot forward. Nearly losing it there, but pretty much straight back on the foil. And that is what the judges want to see up in the booth. They really, really do reward a well-executed maneuver like that. They want to see riders land and get straight back onto foil and ride out of it. You know, nice, smooth, clean landings get rewarded. And I'm looking at some scores now coming in, and it's looking on a promising side for Bastien as we now focus over to Alan Fedit, who is currently in that 4th place. A front flip there from Alex does sit on a 6.5, so a nice move there, slightly more well executed than the one that Axel did to open up his heat. But Bastien here also has a score coming around the 6s. But Alan Fedit, trick attempt number 3. Coming now into the box, left foot forwards. You see there, just pumping and they get a little bit of momentum going through. Switches around, didn't fancy toe side, but here we go. What are we going to expect from Alan? Is yet to do a front flip or back flip maneuver. Bastien Esquivet now has 3 scores on the board, 20.43, so he's the guy to beat. Second place is Axel Gerard. Third, Alex. 4th, Alan. Alan and Axel still have that 3rd trick attempt coming their way. Bastien is the only rider that has 3 scores that have combined and all landed so far. He's had the perfect heat. Well, Alan Fedit now going for the combo. So ticking that family there. Nicely done from the AFS rider. And his teammate now would have seen that and is going up next. I mean, Axel Gerard, let's just have a little look at that last score. Highest score of the heat so far with an 8.17 for that front flip, front side 3. And let's see. I could maybe see a combo coming now from Axel. Or we also know that Axel has a very well-equipped front side 7 or even front side 10 if the wind conditions allow him to get enough height to do the 3 most multiple rotations. Didn't see any 1080s yesterday, but we did see a load of 7s. So here we go. He goes for the back loop. Oh, no, sorry. He goes for that front side 7, I believe. Let's have a little look at that one again. So I've just been informed that we will be having our replays from the next heat onwards. But unfortunately for Axel, that last one will go down as a crash. So now coming in towards the halfway point of the heat. Trick attempt number 4. Alex now, who currently sits actually now in that last position. And still has another trick that will be counted to his score. So what are we going to see here? He's done the combo. He's done the front flip. He's going for the back mobe. Does land it as well. Nicely done there from the youngster. However, I do think it will score nicely. And will definitely bump up his position in this heat. But on the landing there, maybe wanted to be a little bit smoother. And get that full rotation wrapping round. Okay, Bastien Esquivet now waiting for his flag to be raised on the beach. You can see all our riders are actually having a different colour lycra on. Basically what that means is there's a flag marshal on the beach raising that flag when it's their turn to jump. There's 4 of them. You don't want them jumping all at once, otherwise it'd be impossible for us to follow exactly what they're doing. As Bastien there goes down on the crash, his first crash of the heat. But going back to the flags, yes, their flag gets raised and then they go to jumps, depending on what colour flag that is. So next to jump, yellow flag, which means Alan Fedit will be jumping next. Here we go. Coming in pretty loaded by the looks of things as well. Maybe wants to go for that same move that he went down on last time. Axel Gerard now, trick attempt number 4. So what have we got? It's really, really tight at the top there. We can see Alex now going to second place and is 0.04 points away from going into first. Let me remind you, we are in the quarterfinals, which means only the top 2 riders will be going through into the semifinals. So if they don't get through, they can call it a day because that will be the end of the road for those that don't make it. Axel Gerard will be one of those riders looking to advance here and keep his good streak going. He's got good record here, and he does a lovely back mode there as well. We saw the Alexander back mode for a 7.93. How does that one compare to what we saw at the start of this trick attempt? Currently sitting on a 14.4. To go first, needs a 6. I'm pretty sure that that one there will be higher than a 6, which should then move Axel into first place, which then pushes Alexander on your screen now out of second. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see today these riders and pretty much all the heats be so close. Like we always said from the start, the level at the moment on the Wingfoiling World Tour in both the female and male divisions is climbing quicker than we can keep up with it. I mean, we're seeing innovation pretty much in most heats. As Alexander here goes right foot forward. What does he want to improve? So he's got 3 scores on the board, lowest one being the 5.97 combo. So we probably might see him attempt a combo, or he's going to go for that frontside 7, which he executes perfectly there. He'll be stoked with that one. That might actually knock off that combo score now of a 5.97 and tick off the other family, which should then theoretically improve potentially his score, as he only needs a 0.04 to go into second. And I can see now from the judges' scorecards coming in now, it's looking to be around the 7s, which will most definitely put him into a higher position, which means that this guy on your screen, Bastien Escofet, might just drop down into third for the time being. Also goes for the back mode, but over-rotates a little bit. Maybe wanting to do a frontside 3 on the way down. But you can see, yes, so that last score from Alex has pushed Bastien into third place. The 6.97 for a frontside 7 has, as I mentioned, knocked off that combo now. So what does Bastien need to do in his next move? Well, he wants to improve the lowest one, which is a back loop spin. Alan Fadet also has 3 tricks counting, all hovering in the 6s, with the lowest being also a back loop spin on the last trick attempt. Also, the combo of a 6.33 is something that definitely can be improved. We know Alan has it in the bag to bring out the 8s and the 9s. But are we going to see it here? Maybe a little cork 7 from the French rider. Also going for the back mode, but again, not getting enough height at all. You can see really doing it in the shallows there as well on the inside of the competition area. Yeah, you can see he's obviously not happy with something out there. Maybe talking to his caddy on the beach. Not quite finding the rhythm there. So he's got a little bit of work to do. He will remain in 4th position. One guy that doesn't want to give up his first place is this youngster, Axel Gerard. 22.87. Highest score of the heat so far was that last back mode that he did. But he goes down on a crash there, going for a multiple rotation maneuver. Good thing that Axel has in his hands is that obviously with the Poniente and Tarifa, that is a little bit lighter than the preferred Levante, let's say, that comes from the other direction. And the lighter riders, you know, your Alexanders, your Axels, you know, they do have a little bit more of an advantage in that lighter wind when they can maybe go a little bit higher. But I guess that just means that the slightly heavier riders have to take bigger wings out. Okay, so trick attempt number 6 here. Coming towards the end now of the first quarterfinal of the day. Who are going to book their tickets into the semifinal? At the moment, it's going to be Axel Gerard and Alexander Archer. So here we go, Alex. Does he keep it together? Yes, he does. That will score. Wants to improve on that front flip. So I think we know what Alex is going to do then when it comes to his final trick attempt. Maybe go for a more preferred front flip and improve on that 6.50. What does Bastien want to do? Could go down the combo route. Could also go bigger on a front loop. But again, Bastien here, we're going to see some innovation. Maybe I would say potentially he would try something new here, knowing that he has another trick attempt remaining and he can dial down something a little bit smoother. But again, you don't want to leave yourself, you know, vulnerable for the last trick attempt, as we got a beautiful drone shot here following Bastien. As he goes up. Wants to go for... Oof. No, that's going to be a crash. Innovation coming there. Is that going to be a crash, though? I think so, because he used that wing a lot to get back up onto his feet. And once that wing goes down in the drink, judges tend to call that a crash. But let's have a look. As yes, it's going to be a crash. I can confirm that now with the judges, what they're putting down in their scorecard. So here we go. Alain Fedit, slightly frustrated after that last crash that he had, as you saw in the inside, sort of throwing his hands up in the air, as if to say, I don't know what's going on here. Can he then link this one up? Because otherwise he's going to leave it all to the last trick, and he really does need to try and improve on one of those low sixes. Maybe the back loop spin again. Let's see here. He goes for the back loop. Yes. Maybe some sort of combination. But it's going to score. Won't be down as a combo because there was no pop to pop there. But current heat leader, Axel Gerard, going for his 6th trick attempt. Axel Gerard now. 1, 2. Nearly going for the 1080, I think, as well. Let's just have a little look at that. Tweaked it out really nicely at the front. We're going to have replays from the next heat. But final round of tricks coming up now. So final round of tricks. Trick attempt number 7. Alexander here wants to go big because he's in second place, but it's tight at the top. It really is tight. I mean, Bastien is 0.81 of a point away from Alex. Even Axel Gerard is only 1.48 of a point ahead of Alexander and 2.28 of Bastien. Even Alain Fedit as well, currently in 4th position. He needs to load down a big score of like the 8s or 9s to give himself a shot of getting through. But here we go. Maybe a front flip here to improve on that 6.50. As he lines up. No, he goes to the back mobe. And he lands it really well there. That's beautiful stuff there. The 7.93 that he has done for a current back mobe. But it's going to be similar score. Will that go into the 8? If it does, it's going to make it a little bit harder for this chap on your screen here, Bastien Escoffet, who will not be wanting to go out of the competition here. The back mobe here from Alexander is looking strong. It's looking like it's going to be improved. That 7.93 on his trick attempt number 4. Bastien Escoffet now following him from the sky. What's he got for us? If he crashes here, it's going to be the end of the road. He goes up. Oh, Bastien. Talk about leaving it to the final buzzer. The 8.27 now dropping for Alexander Archer, which I believe has now dropped on your screen. You can see, yes, it has. Official score come in, 21.74 for him. So he's going to stay in second place. Bastien Escoffet is for sure going to have an improved score on something that he already has done. So it's going to shake up potentially second or first position. Judges taking their time with this one. But it's looking good for Bastien. Alain Fedit now, it's definitely got a lot of work to do. I think Bastien actually will pop into first place after that last maneuver. It looked like a one-handed backflip into a frontside 360. Alan Fedit, last trick attempt for him. Coming in with speed. Back loop into a front side 3. Yes, gets it as well. We just saw that from Bastien, but with the one hand. What is Alan going to score here? And for what looked like a nice, comfortable first position for Axel Gerard, now looks like it could get a little bit sticky out there. As scores still to be officiated and dropped for Bastien. Keep your eyes on Bastien's score at the moment, because there's a big one coming. There is a big one coming. There we go. 8.83 confirmed. That now moves Bastien into second place. Kicks out Alexander, who will finish now in third. Last trick of the heat. Last trick of the heat for Axel Gerard, who remains in first position. As I said, though, the scores to drop now for Alan Fedit. That could potentially shake it up, but it's still looking like it's going to be a little bit far off here. Axel Gerard there landing his last heat. So we're just going to wait for a few more seconds and see if some scores drop before we go to any sort of highlights or advertisement. So 1 second here. Alan Fedit. It's coming in now. It's also looking up in the 8. So we will have more information very, very shortly as the judges' scores are coming in. But for now, do not go anywhere. The next quarterfinal coming up next. Okay, welcome back. I can confirm that Axel Gerard and Bastien Escovet were the winners in that first quarterfinal. So they'll be advancing through. And we can see now the next riders. We have second quarterfinal of the day, Ezio Bassellini, Nathan Berger, Javi Kaur, and your 2022 Surf-Freestyle World Champion, Malo Guenolé. Those are going to be the 4 riders up next. But before we go to the action, we caught up with Nathan Berger earlier this morning.
Nathan Berger joining me here on the beach in Tarifa. Nathan, this is your hometown, your home spot. How does it feel to be here competing in Tarifa?
Yeah, it feels super good. It's super fun. I'm missing school now. And yeah, the conditions yesterday were good. In the morning was pretty much harder. First it didn't went so well. Been progressing when the day come and got some few good hits and can't wait to get started today.
Well, best of luck in the quarterfinals. Hope to see you go far in the competition.
So here we go. You can see there from the drone shot on the right-hand side, the red flag has gone up. So we're now going to be following Ezio Bastianini, who's riding the F1 gear. So there he is, coming in on the right-hand side. First one there for Ezio, which looked to be a frontside 3, will be down as a crash. So next to jump, we have Nathan Berger. Now for Nathan, this is his home spot. He knows his spot better than most of the riders out there. We've actually got 2 local boys here as well, with Xavi Kaur, also resides in Tarifa and had a blinder of a heat yesterday, showing numerous moves of innovation. But Nathan Berger here is a youngster who is eager and hungry to take it to these other riders. As you can see here, loading up, going for the back loop with a grab on the front of the board and also popping over there into a frontside 3. So trying to tick that category of a combination. Next up, we have Xavi Kaur. So here he is, Xavi Kaur, one of the best combined heat totals we saw yesterday. I think it was up in around the 24. I mean, we saw him do, some toe side back mob, I believe, at the top of my head. It looks like he might be lining up to kick things off with that as well. You can see there, beautiful. That's Africa in the background, where if you haven't been to Tarifa before, we're super close to Morocco. As yes, he goes for that toe-sided back mob and lands it as well. You can see trying to get a bit of momentum back into the wing there, get back up onto the foil. Xavi Kaur there will be stoked to kick off the heat with that one. A 6.77 coming in shortly for Nathan Berger, which will be on your screen soon. And last to kick things off is Malo Guenolé. So here we go. What does the French rider here, part of that huge gong team, where we see the likes of his teammate Bastien Escofet in the last heat, make it through to the semi? He'll also be wanting to join him. As Malo does the old switcheroo, probably coming back in. So we've got 4 riders on the water, 7 trick attempts, only 3 of which are going to be counting. And Malo now coming in left foot forward. You can see there, sorts his feet out, so locks into the straps. And the Poliente breeze is really kicking in now. I think it's going to get even windier as the day goes on. That thermic breeze will sure kick in with the dune behind. Malo now going for his first trick attempt. What are we going to see from the 2022 Surf-Freestyle World Champion? Lands it nicely there. As the biggest score coming in at the moment from that first round of tricks does look to be Xavi Kaur. Up in the high 8s, maybe even early 9s for that toe side back mob, sorry. And back now to the youngest rider in this fleet of 4, Ezio Bastianini. On a 3.5 meter wing. So that just gives you a bit of an idea with how much wind is out there. But he is also obviously one of the lighter riders in the fleet. So I think we saw Bastien on a 5 meter, Ezio here on a 3.5. So just goes to show there the variety and conditions that we're getting and what each rider decides to take out. A 6.77 for Nathan Berger on his combo. Scores still to be locked and loaded for Malo and Xavi, which is why Ezio here is just taking his time. He'll be waiting for his flag to be raised on the beach. And an 8.97 for innovation there. Xavi Kaur, highest score that we've seen of a trick so far today. And I think we're really going to see more of that as we continue to go on in these quarterfinals, semifinals. As mentioned by yesterday on the stream, it's going to be a finals of innovation scores pretty much. So Ezio now, scores still coming in from Malo. And we might find this today that actually our judging team, it's really precise. We're seeing new things all the time, so it's really important that they look it back and they're able to watch back and really assess each trick because new moves are being dropped every single round. Ezio, front flip. Will score, but it will be low, on the lower side, sorry, because of the height and the execution. So what are the judges looking for, in fact? I mean, you at home who have just tuned in might be thinking exactly what we're looking for out there. So what scores the big points and maybe what doesn't score so well? If we look at the judging criteria, we're looking for technical difficulty, height, power, and amplitude. They're also looking for the execution and smoothness. And unfortunately there, as you saw, a crash there is neither of those. They're also looking at the commitment and the explosiveness that goes into each move. And that risk and reward factor will definitely be rewarded, let's say. If riders are pushing the boundaries, and they're going to be rewarded for that if it pays off. Grabs also as well. We're seeing a lot of grabs, especially from the likes of riders like Jerome Clotens. He likes to add those grabs in. If it's grabbed at the right part of the board and for the duration, the type of grab and how stylish it is, that can be rewarded. And obviously the innovation is a huge factor. And that's the sort of category there that's going to score the big points. A front flip there from 5.73. Ezio also locks down. So he gets his first trick scored. A crash there from Nathan. And Xavi Core, you can see on his face there, he's pretty stoked and happy with how it's going. Opening up with two nice moves as we go over to Malor now. Another high 8 coming in now for Xavi. I think that's 2 innovation scores on the trot. Malor now, what have you got for us? Coming in left foot forward. Finishing last year's 2023 Surf-Freestyle in second place, just narrowly missing out to Chris McDonald, who is your current Surf-Freestyle World Champion. He'll be in action later on in the last quarterfinal, in what is a very exciting heat. But Malo here also finishing up in 4th place over in Le Cat, getting 700 points. Chris McDonald actually won the event in Le Cat. Noah Kiala in 2nd place and Axel Gerard in 3rd. So Malo here definitely wanting to improve on the first event podium that he had in 4th. He'll be wanting to take the win here. But he needs to get a score on the board. I know it's early days and we're only on trick attempt number 2, but it's nice to get some scores on the board, especially when you look at someone like Xavi, who's done another innovation of 8.43. And Malo there going down in the build-up will be kicking himself for that. That is something you do not see very often from this rider. You don't see cheap errors like that. And he will now go down as a crash. So a bit of a nightmare start for Malo. And he'll be, thanking himself that he's got 7 trick attempts. So he's got another 5, but 3 of those will really need to be landed. Especially when you've got the likes of Xavi Core, who's currently on 17.40 after just 2 tricks. So we now move over to trick attempt number 3. Back in sequence with Ezio. It's looking like Malo potentially has another sniff at it here. Maybe he has some more time on the clock as he's riding blind right here. But goes down as a crash. Ezio there going for the front side 7. Nicely done. That will be another trick counting for him. And just having a little bit of fun in the waves afterwards as well. So Ezio will also have that second trick counting now after that front flip. Next up, we have Nathan, who only has the combination of a 6.77 scored. Nathan there going for that front side 3, but also wanting to put a bit of a wing pass in there. Let's see how that scored. The last one, that front side 7 from Ezio, scoring a 7.07. So that's now pushing him into second place. Javikor remains in first. Nathan here in third, but does have that score to drop. Okay, Javikor, what have you got for us? You've had your 2 innovations now. So maybe we're going to see some sort of combination now from Javi or a big front flip maneuver. We saw this yesterday from Javi. He did exactly the same 2 moves to open up his heat, and then he purely focused on landing the back mobe. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Javi Kaur here go for the back mobe. But during yesterday's heat, he wasn't actually able to land it. Did spend quite a lot of time. I think he spent about 4 tricks trying to land the back mobe, but was unable. But thankfully, his innovation scores were high enough to keep him in the competition. So here he is. As he turns around now, goes back out towards the edge of the competition area. You can see just looking over his shoulder there, waiting for his flag to be raised. His score still to be dropped for Nathan. He likes to do his back mobe coming in this way as well. So let's have a look. Javikor in his local spot, trying to balance this competition around his exams. I saw him the other day, actually. He was doing a little bit of revision before going on his heat. So maybe that's the secret to it, everyone. Maybe you need to study before going out and trying these innovation tricks. But here we go. Javikor, the Armstrong rider. Not looking like he's in too much of a hurry to get going. Yeah, you can see he's just looking over his shoulder there, waiting for his flag, I think, to be raised. As we always like to see the drone in the sky as well, following our riders along. Get a fantastic view of this wonderful location where we are in the world, the wind sports mecca. As I see Nathan's score now dropping around the low 6s. So Javikor, as you can see straight away now, that score's dropped for Nathan. He engages. Goes for the front flip into a... Whoa, just the front flip. Maybe he wanted the combo there of a front side 3 afterwards. But that front flip will do. That will be a 3rd trick scored for Javi, which will even increase that 17.40. Focus now goes on to Malo, who's in 4th place and yet to land a trick, which is very much unlike him. So here we go, Malo. Left foot forward. Coming in with plenty of speed, but again, goes for that back move, but can't grab the wing. 3rd crash now for Malo. You can see there, just sort of sitting on his board, wondering to himself, what's going on here? Not the start of the heat that he would have wanted, giving himself a little bit more pressure. And when you've got someone like Javikor who's throwing down the hammer and is now at a 23.97, he's got a lot of chasing to do. But Ezio here goes for the combination, manages to keep it together as well. Maybe not the best executed combination we've seen. But like we've said before, it's 3 tricks counting, and they've got to tick different families. So Ezio's done that there. He will now go into 2nd place and just bump forward ahead of Nathan. But Nathan's next to jump now. Trick attempt number 4. Here we go. The young rider going for the front side 7. Or was he able to get 3 rotations there? But either way, I think that might go down as a crash. Let's just wait and see what the judges put, because he was down in the water for quite some time. Javikor now, current heat leader. Yes, the last one from Nathan is going to go down as a crash. Xavi Core now has a low score of a 6.57, so maybe he'll want to improve that one. And he's got, 4 trick attempts to do so. Xavi Core actually won this event in 2022 as he goes for a back mobe there. Nice height on that one, but unfortunately couldn't keep it together on the way down. Wouldn't be surprised now if we just see Xavi try that trick for the next 4 tricks. He knows he's got 3 good tricks on the scorecards. He's got a nice score of a 23.97. It's going to be hard for the other riders to get around those 2 high scores unless we see some more innovation from the likes of Malo here. We saw innovation from him yesterday. But he's left himself in a tricky condition here because if he crashes here, that will be 4 crashes out of 4. And with only 3 tricks left, he'll be needing to really land those 3. Front side 7. Beautifully. Textbook stuff there. And let's just refer to that one that Ezio did earlier. He got a 7.07 for his front side 7. I think that one from Malo personally was a little bit more commitment, a little bit better height. And was pretty much straight back onto the foil afterwards. And we're seeing that reflected in some of the scores dropping now. Mid to high 7s coming in. So Malo, using competition experience there to his advantage, knows that he hasn't had the best start, wants to get a few points on the board, put a little bit of pressure onto his opponents. And now we go trick attempt number 5. So just missed that trick there, but as you see, Ezio is in the water, so it's going to go down as a crash. We now move over to Nathan Berger on the KT wing. So here we go, joining now Nathan on his 5th trick attempt. Goes for that wing pass again. One of the only riders really to go for that move. And I remember he was actually trying that in October last year here in Tarifa because the last 2 years when we've had this event, we've been running it in October. This year we're running in early May. But the current heat leader, Xavi Core, is, I reckon, going to try the back move again. That would be what I put my money on. The back move here coming from Xavi. If he scores a high back mode, we could potentially see the highest combined heat total. Yep, there it is. Boom. That's how you do it. So we're going to definitely see Xavi now, the 23.97, be pushed over, I reckon, towards the 26s, 25, 26. And he means business. He looked good yesterday. He looks even better today out there. And you can see that the local sort of home knowledge of competing in your hometown is paying its dues here for Xavi Core. Some nice looking scores. That's the treat I have here in the booth. I can see what's coming through just a little bit earlier than you guys at home. And it's looking great for the Spaniard, with Malo now having to do some chasing. So the 7.40 was what was scored for his frontside 7. So yes, it was a little bit better than the one that we saw from Ezio. What are we going to see now? Maybe a combo from Malo as he rides away from that one. Okay, so a really nice looking score here coming in from Malo. Talk about saving it to the bitter end. We're now in trick attempt number 6. And we need to go over to Ezio. Okay, Ezio now, you can see just looking over his shoulder, so his flag yet hasn't been raised. We can see that because I think the score from Malo is coming in. It's looking like it's going to be a good one. It might potentially be the highest scoring trick we've seen today. And Ezio now locked and loaded, goes for the backflip. Lands it. The lowest score that he has is a 4.33 for a combo. And I think that backflip might be around the same. 9 on the dot now for Malo with his innovation. So that's 3 tricks in this heat that we've seen of innovation. 2 of which come from Xavi, 1 of which comes from Malo. Nathan Berger now. Are we going to see that wing pass attempt again? He's tried it on the last 2 tricks. He's crashed the last 2 tricks. He goes again for it. Again crashes. He knows that if he lands that, it's going to be a good score. And he needs a good score at the moment because Malo has now bumped himself up from 4th to 3rd. Only needs a 1.41 increase on one of his scores. But that's only from 2 tricks counting. Ezio is on 3 tricks counting and on 17.80. So Malo only really needs a tiny score to bump up into second. But he won't be wanting to stay second. He'll be looking for the W here and going for the win. Needs a 9.51 Malo to go ahead of Xavi. But here we have Xavi Core, who landed a back mode, which scored 8.50. So what does he want to do now? Looking to improve on that 8.50 actually back mode, but couldn't get his hands back on the wing after the rotation. So crash for Xavi. Malo now going for his 6th trick attempt. Needs a 9.51 to go into first. So pretty much needs to do a perfect trick. Or we could play it nice and simple and go for something, you know, like a frontside. Another frontside 3 just to get a low score. Or maybe a little combo just to get into second place. And then can be maybe a little bit more playful on his last trick attempt. But let's see what he does. Malo now likes to do his tricks coming in left foot forward. The majority of it has been. He goes for the back mode, lands it straight back up onto the foil. And how about that? I mean, compare that with the one that we saw from Xavi Core. 8.50 from Xavi. I reckon that was a little bit cleaner. A little bit betterly executed. And that will for sure put Malo in second place. Will he bump into first? Is it a 9.51? Not quite sure. Don't think it's going to be enough to go into first. But 3 nice tricks there landed for the Frenchman. Last trick attempt of the heat. So final trick attempt, front flip, crash, didn't get the height, didn't get enough pop and not enough commitment going into that move there for Ezio. So he will now finish at the moment in 3rd place. A rider that can bump up into 3rd, 2nd could be Nathan Berger, but actually now looking at the score, Nathan Berger's tricked out. It's impossible for him to get through. He needs a 12.17 to get in, and you can only get a total of 10. So unfortunately for this rider, he is also going to be out. Maybe he goes for that wing pass again just to try and tick the box, but it's not going to be enough regardless of what he does. Goes for the one-handed backflip with a grab. Lands it nicely. Could have done with that one earlier on in the heat. But there you have it. We know who are going through now. Xavi Core and Malo Guenolet are going to be the 2 riders going through. But in what position? Is it going to be Xavi in first, Malo in second, or are we going to see Malo take a little win on his last trick attempt? He's only 0.088 of a point away from Xavi, but that needs to be improved on maybe one of his lowest scores, which is that frontside 7. Xavi Core's lowest score is one of his innovations, and once again, he just dials it down. Saving the best till last, Xavi Core. 25.90 is what he's currently on. Will that be increased? Malo there just looking over his shoulder. Wonder what's going through his mind. I mean, we told you before we started today that every heat is going to be like a final. And this one is proving to be exactly that. Judges taking their time with these scores. Beautiful shot there from the drone following the last rider to jump. 5.17 for the back loop spin there from Nathan previously. But Xavi Core score still not visible on my screen either. So clearly some innovation. Oh, it's good. It's good. I see a 10. I see some high 9s. Xavi Core throwing it down here. and saying to Mallow, look, mate, I'm in the quarters, but, you know, I'm not here to just take part. He wants to take the win here. He knows how good it feels winning here in 2022. He wants to have that feeling again. And he's absolutely stomped that last trick here. Some big, big near-perfect scores. Is it going to be a 10? Is it going to be the first 10 that we've seen in competition so far in Tarifa? We've seen 10s before at numerous other slots. And it's looking exceptionally good. Keep your eyes on the screen for Xavi Core as Mallow jumps now, rides blind. What has he got for us? Xavi Core's score hasn't yet dropped on your screens. Keep your eyes on Xavi Core while also keeping an eye on Mallow. Last trick attempt of the heat. Is it going to be a buzzer beater? We love a good old-fashioned buzzer beater, but is it going to be a buzzer beater? As Mallow now going right out to the edge of the competition area. You can see there the final buoy. And it's a 9.97 there from Xavi Core. The highest scoring trick that we've seen here in Tarifa over the course of the event. And I don't think we did see Mallow's trick from the distance on the drone. Hard for me to say what exactly it was. But Xavi Core, take a bow. We will see you and Mallow in the final. Welcome back, everyone. And what a blinder of a heat of the competition so far. I mean, we saw a back mode 360 from Xavi Core, and then Mallow showing innovation. And we're going to see more innovation now. Ancor Sosa, Luca Villamet, Thomas Archer, and Noe Kuala are going to be the next 4 riders taking on in the quarterfinal. We caught up with Ancor Sosa this morning. Let's see how he was feeling.
So joining me here, we have Ancor Sosa. Ancor, another quarterfinal for yourself out here in Tarifa this morning. The sun's out. I mean, yesterday it was raining all morning, but you've got a tough heat ahead. How are you feeling going into this one, and what can we expect from you and your performance?
Yeah, I mean, now we are waiting for the wind, but I think later it's gonna be some thermic and the wind gonna come in. So yeah, maybe some back mobs, maybe some new tricks, we don't know. So let's see.
Well, it's been great to see you out there. I mean, we're seeing innovation all the time. Are we going to expect maybe to see some new moves from yourself out there? You're definitely a rider that likes to push the boundaries when it comes to this sport.
Yeah, let's see, depending on the wind conditions. But yeah, I hope we can do something new, and if not, we're gonna try our best.
Well, that's what we like to see from you riders. Best of luck for the rest of the day. Can't wait to see you out there.
So here we go. You can see there the scores coming on the ladder there on the left-hand side. Just having a nice view of the vibes on the beach as we now follow Ancor Sosa, who's going to kick things off on this heat. Waiting for his flag to be raised, so we're going to stick with Ancor. Frontside 7 there for Ancor to open up nicely. So Luca here. Just trying to get a bit of a gauge for the wind. He's on a 4-meter F1 strike there. You can see the recent adjustment of the boom, allowing the F1 boys to get amongst the tricks like the back mode now, finding it a little bit easier. Let's see what Luca does. Front flip, but just goes a little bit down nose heavy over the front of the board. So a crash for him. Around the high sixes, Ancor Sosa for that last move that he did, the frontside 7. So Thomas, watch out for this rider, Thomas, because yesterday, just like what we saw with Xavi and Malo, he had a blinder of a heat. I mean, it was just one after the other of innovation and high-scoring 8s, early 9s. But I'm going to say it now. At the moment, the man to beat is Xavi Core. And one of the guys that can also take it to him is this chap on your screen. Front flip combo. Yeah, he loves a little bit of a combo. And just watch that combo there. So we've seen combos today being done. But the big difference there from Thomas was the pop that he generated after that front flip maneuver. Something that the judges want to see, straight into a pop and all the whole foil, in fact, coming back out the water and going for that nicely executed frontside 3. Noe Kuyala now. Also riding the 4. His teammate Luca in the mix here. But started off with a crash as he goes up 1, 2, frontside 7. Okay, so compare that now, ladies and gentlemen, with the one that Ancor opened up with of the 6.93. Are we thinking it's similar, or did Noe's just end up that little bit smoother? I think Noe just came in a little bit more committed with a little bit more height. But Ancor Sosa here, yeah, the scores are relaying that as well a little bit. Nice combo from Thomas of a 7.40. Ancor Sosa now, second trick attempt. Lines up, right foot forward. What are we going to see? Resides over in the Canary Islands. Goes up, front flip. Maybe one in that frontside 3 on the way down, but doesn't quite get the rotation. Crash for Ancor. Luca here, doing the old switcheroo, coming back into the box. What are we going to see? Started off with a crash. If you've just joined us, 7 trick attempts, 3 of which are going to be counting. It's a bit of a young gun heat here. Wanted the combo, I think, as well. Big front flip there from Luca. Ticks a box, gets some scores on the board. Next up, Thomas. Let's have a little look how Thomas did over in Le Cap. Trying to see exactly where the youngster finished. Had a 5th place finish. So Thomas had a 5th place finish over in Le Cap. We're looking to try and better that here in Tarifa. As a really nice, strong score coming down. As we see now, Noah Kiala riding toe side, does a switch around, coming back in left foot forwards. Big score now dropping for Thomas. Keep your eyes on the scorecards. Rider here, Luca. Oh, sorry, Noe. Front flip, front side 3 for Thomas. Beautifully executed. 8.67. Is the guy to beat in this heat. Going for the back mob. Noe Kuyala. Beautifully well executed there. Nearly lost it at the end, but managed to keep it together. Ancor Sosa is up next. And there he is. Just waiting for that flag to be raised for his flag colour. And around he goes. Second trick attempt was a crash for Ancor. He opened up on the front side 7. So what's he got in store for us here? He'll be looking to tick another trick category. Another family. As he loads up here, maybe using a little bit of swell out there to his advantage. And Ancor Sosa with the old wing spin to start that one. 6.93, that will be improved. That will go down as a scored trick because that was not a crash. Luca here coming off the back of a 6.33 front flip. And a beautiful shot there of our drone following this rider. He's just waiting. You can see there his teammate, Noe, just at the back of him. We want to be having a nice clean takeoff. No distractions out there. Ancor's score looking like it's going to be around the mid to low 7s. And has he kept it together? Yes, he has. Luca Villavet will be making an advantage on his position in 4th place at the moment. Top 2 of these riders will go through to the semi-final. And we are in heat number 3 of the quarterfinal. So after this, we've got one more quarterfinal where we'll be seeing our current Surf-Freestyle world champion, Christopher McDonald, get into action. Definitely the man to beat at the moment, coming off a great win there in Lucat. Keeps taking the W's in all the events. With his stapled 1080s. But at the moment, it's this guy on your screen, Thomas Archer, going for a back move with great height and very solid execution there. Keep your comments coming in the live for the YouTube, guys. It's great to know that you're all watching and enjoying the show that we have here in Tarifa. If you want us to find anything out, we'll do our best for you. I can see a few questions coming in at the moment about the wind speed. I reckon we've got a good solid 20 knots out there at the moment. And it will be hopefully pushing around to the 25, maybe even up towards 30 if that thermic breeze really kicks in here. Got a promising forecast. The wind's actually come in a little bit earlier than maybe we expected. We were thinking of maybe getting underway at around 2 o'clock, but actually we were able to get underway a little bit earlier. As we can see there, Noe Kuyala going for his 3rd trick attempt. We can see there, yeah, about Mallow on his last one. Why his first trick wasn't counted. He actually jumped before his turn. So, yeah, really important that these riders are paying attention to the flags on the beach. When it's their turn, their flag gets red. They're all assigned the colour, as you can see on the top left-hand side. Next to their name, they've got their country flags. You've also got the position of where they are in the heat. And then you've got that colour as well. So that is the colour of their flag. When their flag gets raised, they have one thing to do, and that is do their trick. It is then scored, and 3 of them count out of 7 attempts. We're finding that each heat is roughly around the 20 to 25 minute range. And Thomas here, the current heat leader, has 3 tricks counting. So it has had a perfect start. The 8.73 for that back mob. Very highly rewarded. A little bit of innovation there from Noe Kuyala, 6.67. So yet another innovation score. That's 4 already in today, and we're only in the quarterfinals. And Thomas just waiting patiently to have his turn. But before Thomas goes, we go with Luca, who goes to the front side 7. Lands it. We're seeing those front side 7s score around the 7s, in fact. High 7s, or high sixes, sorry, early sevens. That'll be a scored trick for him. He'll tick then 3 categories and can then have a little bit of a play out there and try and improve on the low ones. Thomas now up next. Here he is, riding toe side. Just looking down at the beach there, as you can see, currently in the lead, 24.80. So 4th trick attempt now for Noah Kiala. Crash there for Thomas on his last trick attempt. So riding toe side, pops up. But unfortunately isn't able to keep it together there. Goes down, crash for Noah, which is actually his first crash of the heat. So, I mean, I don't think we've seen the perfect 7-trick heat yet from any rider. You know, all 7 tricks landed. Imagine that. Imagine if it was 7 tricks landed all above the 8s. That would be something special, wouldn't it? So here we go. Ancor Sosa. 5th trick attempt. He is currently in the 4th position. So not where he wants to be at all. But he only does have 2 tricks counting to that score. Whereas all the other riders have 3. So that does explain the slightly lower score for him as he goes for a back mob and grabs the leash instead of the handle. So Ancor definitely wanting to try and get that one dialed down. And he's still got 2 trick attempts to do so. Over to Luca now, who is your 3rd place in this heat. Noe and Thomas out in front at the moment. But focus now goes over to Luca. And you can see Luca now just trying to get a bit of momentum going, you know, pumping the board, pumping the wing. Trying to get a little bit of power, but he switches around here. Rise toe side. You see they're using swell there. Are we going to see it here, or is he going to do a turnaround? Going toe side. Luca. Oh, I don't even know what that one was there. Beautifully executed maneuver there on the transition. One of the only guys to actually try and attempt those ones. And his score of a 5.88 for a toe side, front side 7 will definitely be bumped out because I reckon that one will have the better. Yeah, and it's looking like it's going to be high as well. Judges liking what they see around the high 8s, early 9s. So that could now then bump Noe Kiala out, or even Thomas, who's on your screen now. He's next to jump. Had a crash on the last attempt, also riding toe side. He's coming right in towards the sandbank there, but nope, decides against it. Looking over his shoulder, waiting, I think, for that flag. And you can see, just trying to get a bit of momentum. Going out now, right foot forward. Okay, so what does he have that's his low one? A combination. A combo is his low score. So maybe he wants to try and bump that one up. That's currently sitting at a 7.40. He has a back mob of an 8.73. That's his highest trick of the heat so far. Also lands that one there. Okay, so that's going to be scored. Is it going to be enough to bump one of those 3 tricks out? Let's wait and see. Noe now. Low score. What is it? 6.67 for a front side 7. Noe actually here with his coach as well. Nico travels around with all the F1 team. So I'm sure Nico would be down on that beach, phone in hand, looking at the scores. Providing Noe with the best possible advice to advance. Because, yep, he is now in 3rd place. Toe side, front side 9 there for Luca. As Noe crashes out on his 5th trick attempt. So no change for Noe. He goes in 3rd. Luca now with that last move. As I said, one of the only guys that can do that toe side, front side 9. That's gone down as an 8.77. A very, very good score. One of the first we've seen landed here at Tarifa. And we now move over to Ancor Sosa. Perfect. Ancor Sosa now waiting. There's no way. I think maybe he did crash. Is that going to go down as a crash though? Let's see, because I'm just waiting to see. It looked like Noe there was getting his jet on there to do a crash. Has it gone down as a crash? I believe so. So he's in third position. Ancor Sosa now is in the last place, but only does still have 2 tricks. Needs a 7.87 to get going and get into second place. Front flip. Just about. Nope, that's going to be another crash. Okay, so Ancor has really put a bit of pressure on himself now to try and wrap things up on the 7th trick attempt, but it does also now depend on how the rest of these 3 riders play the heat. Luca, up next on your screen. Here he is, the youngster. 22.22. Second place for Luca. What does he need to go into first? Okay, he needs to find 2.59 on top of maybe one of his lowest scores. Low score for Luca is a front flip. Is he going to look and advance on that and just try and do better than the 6.33? Looking like he's coming in with power here, or maybe a combo. Back mode, in fact, crash. Not going to be happy with that. Stays in second place, but yet still has 1 trick attempt remaining. Up next, current heat leader, Thomas. Had innovation on the last score, but it wasn't a high-scoring trick, which is why we cannot see it on the scorecards. It actually scored a 7.3. But here we have Thomas. Again, riding toe side. Is he going to turn around? We tend to see him go around. He likes to do his tricks actually going right foot forward, but no, this time he doesn't. He goes to that toe side back mobe, but isn't able to keep it going. That was going to be a crash for him. So that's actually his only crash so far, and that's on his 6th trick attempt. Not sure there while he was signaling. It looked like the old wants to switch up something, maybe go down to a different wing size, or maybe go up. We'll get a little condition update for you as well. I'll poke my head out the booth shortly and see how the wind's going. But number 6 for Noe Kuyala has had 2 crashes on his previous 2 attempts. Had a good start to the heat with his first 3 tricks counting, but he's going to want to do something here because he's currently in 3rd place. Noe Kuyala pops toe side. But that's also going to be a crash for the F1 rider. And he is now leaving a bit of pressure. So, final trick attempts for all the riders. We're now following Ancor. He's only got 2 trick attempts counting to his score. But here we go. Ancor Sosa, right foot forward. Back mobe, maybe. I'm going to put my money on a back mobe. He's got to land it either way. Otherwise, he has not. He's going to be getting on the next flight from Malaga or Gibraltar or somewhere like that. But here we go. Ancor Sosa. He's gone for the back mobe. And, oh, okay, he's landed it. That's the plus. Is it going to be enough to go into second place? He needs 7.87. He's got to find that from somewhere. I don't know if it's going to be enough because the execution on that trick was not maybe as he wanted. You know, he's done them before and we've seen him landed actually these back moves a little bit cleaner. Judges want to see that foil, you know, get back up onto the foil, ride out a bit clean. And it's not really looking like it's going to be enough. Good score, but I don't think it's going to be up the high 7s. Luca here is currently in 2nd place, but it's getting a little bit wobbly out there for him. He's got a bit of work to do to make sure that the likes of Noe can't catch up. Teammates off the water. Rivals on the water. Here we go. Back mobe. And goes straight in the drink. Cannot grab the wing. Will stay in 2nd place for now. Current heat leader here who has now confirmed his place in the semi-final, probably without even knowing it, is this man on your screen, Thomas. currently your heat leader, so it's impossible for him to not get through. He's on 24.80. Funnily enough, those 3 scores actually being the first 3 he did in the heat, so talk about getting off to a good start. Can have a little bit of fun with this, but I'm sure he'll be wanting to try something new or better, the low score, which is the combo 7.40. Or I can think maybe going for a toe side back mobe or just going down like that and thinking, you know what, I don't need a score. But there he is. Unfortunately, losing a little bit of control coming in there. Is that going to go down as a crash? Most likely, yes. Yes, it is. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere because Noe Kiala cannot crash here. Okay, he's got to land this trick to have a chance of making it through to the semi-final. Let's remember, okay, he finished second in Le Cap, and exiting here in the quarterfinals is something that he is not going to want to do. What are we going to see from Noe? This is crunch time now. We spoke with Noe before. He was keen. He was eager. Thomas there going for his maneuver, so clearly had another attempt there. But this is what we want to focus on now. We've got the eye in the sky, as we like to refer to it, the drone up in the air, following Noe Kiala rather closely. And this is a big move, okay? Biggest moment of the day so far. Can he knock his teammate off the second place? It's looking good. It's looking very good. I believe that might have been a toe side, front side 9 potentially. The same move what Lucas scored, which was an 8.77. It's looking like it could be a very good score, but we will have to wait and see for the moment. Let's see if we can get the scores in before we say anything else. Our score's going to come in time. We will have to wait and see, okay? Because for now, we are going to be getting ready for the final quarter-final where we will be seeing our current Surf-Freestyle world champion, Christopher McDonald, take to the water. Okay, so final quarter-final now of the day. Men's Surf Freestyle. River Moore, Clement Hamon, Jerome Clotens, and Christopher McDonald. Okay, one rider that will be stoked to be in this heat is the local lad, River Moore. Let's have a little catch-up with him as we saw him with Joe this morning.
Standing here with River Moore, congratulations, mate. You made it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joe. Yeah, I'm here down in Tarifa. The wind has been quite good this year. We started off with some gusty northerly winds, but later in the afternoon, like it normally does here in Tarifa, it swung slightly from the south and came slightly off the sea. The wind picked up a lot. I went to 3 meter on one of my heats. Super powered, very nice. Today's a little bit lighter. I'm going to compete in the quarterfinals, super stoked, and see what happens. I'm going to do my best, and hopefully it's good enough.
One of the things we are seeing from the judges is that foil to four. Let's not forget that, obviously there's going to be 3 moves counting. If the conditions get even better, we might even get 4 moves counting with 7 trick attempts. Yeah. How do you navigate around that? Because the level, every single event is just going sky high.
Yeah. Like Joe said, the level every single event here is just going through the roof. I'm really focusing to land all my tricks straight to the foil, like Joe said. I may not have all the best tricks, but hopefully I can land them the cleanest. That's what I was trying to do yesterday as well. Like basic tricks like 720s, front flips and back flips, super clean landings, straight onto the foil. And I think if I can do that well enough, hopefully I might stand a chance.
Well, I definitely think you got more than a chance, mate. Congratulations one more time.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
Okay, always great there to chat with River. Always good to see that he's so happy with where he is at now. He knows he's got a little bit of work to do in this quarterfinal, but don't take it away from the youngster who's just joined the reading team, actually, and really liking the gear as well. I was chatting to him this morning, him and his father, really enjoying the equipment, and obviously it's going to be a home spot for him, River. So let's see how he goes as we now focus on Clement Hamon. Might have missed that first trick there from River, but Clement Hamon going huge there on his first trick. Let's try and see if we can see what River did. Okay, so River opened up nicely there with a bang on the money 5. That was for a back flip. So for the rest of this quarterfinal, I'm just going to be jumping out of the booth very briefly, and we're going to give you a little bit of music while you enjoy the final quarterfinal here of the GWA Surf Freestyle Stop in Tarifa. We'll be back very shortly.
This is not an ad. It's a warning. I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. That ad. It's a warning. I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces. That will enter through those cracks and will stay and live in you. Run! Run! No, better stay in Manhattan. Get an apartment in Berlin. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Don't listen to the poets who have been here. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Dolor de Nieve. Ay, ay! But, in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in business with Luca Villament, Clement Hamon, Axel Gerard, and Xavi Core in the first men's semi-final heat here. Cannot wait to get this one underway. Thank you once again for your patience on that last heat. I know it's never nice maybe not hearing my voice for a heat, but we did have to fix a few things, and we're hopefully now going to be all systems go, go, go with highlights and the replays from each trick coming your way. So hopefully that slight delay in commentary on the last heat will be better for the semi-finals, and then followed by the final where we can watch the tricks back. So yeah, don't go anywhere. Last heat was real close, but unfortunately local lad Jerome Cloten's not being able to get through. So we're back in business now, and there are your 4 riders on the screen. Red flag is up in the sky, which means less than 4 minutes now until we are going to be getting underway. Cannot wait for this one. Who's your money on? My name's Liam Dredge. I'm going to be joined shortly as well, maybe by Joe Sistula, who's down on the beach at the moment, creating the vibe. It's getting busier down here. You can see that guy on the left there, just completely loving it. Getting excited for what's to come. The flags are flying. The wind is blowing. Poniente is here. I just had a little stroll down at the beach. Got to say, it's a little bit chilly out there, but you know that is with the breeze as well. When it comes from the other way, Levante, it's a little bit warmer, a little bit smoother, but obviously it comes through a little bit more stronger with the wind. But we got Poniente at the moment. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Who are you rooting for as well? Do we want the local boys to go through? Xavi Core, do we want to see him in the final? Or maybe the Frenchies. We've got Axel Gerard, Luca as well, Clement Hamon. 3 Frenchies against the Spaniard here on this first semi-final. Who's going through? What innovation are we going to see? Are we going to see, the perfect 10? We haven't seen that yet. Xavi Core's been the closest with the back move into a front side 360 with a 9.8 something, I believe. Can't remember the top of my head. But Chris was on fire on the last one with a bit of innovation on the end. I think he scored around the 9.5s. Nicole, I know you're watching back at home. The innovation is through the roof. I mean, sitting up here, watching what these guys are throwing down, it is truly mind-baffling. And trying to keep up with it sometimes is a job in itself. So here we are, yellow flag up. That means less than 1 minute remaining. So riders now making their way onto the water. Who's it going to be? What are we going to see? 2 spots up for grab in the final. There's 4-man heat, 7 trick attempts, 3 of which are going to be counting. There we can see, that's the view sort of just down on the beach on the top of the tower there. We can see the flag marshals getting ready with the coloured flags. GWA branding there. There's stairs towards the judge tower. And then we can see the crowds just a little bit on the right-hand side where the wings are as well. But I've just been down there. It's pretty packed. It's holidays here in Tarifa. So the beach is Rambo, as I like to say. And riders, yeah, getting ready to go out. Who's it going to be? Don't know who to put the money on this one. And we can see there the flags are about to go green. As we go green, we are going to be going out onto the water. Kites are out there now, so great spot now. I mean, Tarifa in May. If you have never been to Tarifa in May, you've got to come over. Gorgeous place in the world to be. And here we go. Semi-final number 1 underway to kick things off. Luca from France. So Luca there opening up on that front loop. Nicely done there from him. Clement Hamon now had a great heat for the quarterfinal. He's now in the semi-final, as you can see here. What are we going to see? He opened up on a huge innovation move to kick things off in the quarters. Is he going to do the same thing again here in the semis? 6.44 for the front flip for Luca. First score on the board. Clement Hamon going for what looked like a back roll into a front side 3. Clement Hamon absolutely coming out the gates early doors. That's going to be a nice score there. No, here we go. We got the replays now. This is what we wanted. Big shout out to our live crew for sorting that out. No, they're working extremely hard to get the best possible stream for us here in the booth and for you all at home. And now we're going to be having the replays of every trick, the highlights after every heat. So do apologise to the quarterfinals that we weren't able to get that to you. But hey, we got them for the semis. Okay, Axel Gerard, front flip into the front side 3 on the way down, lands it. Here we go. I can guarantee you now, you do not want to go anywhere. We're going to be seeing big scores dropping for the duration of the semifinals and the final. Javi Kaur is coming up next, but you see the front flip into that front side 3 on the way down. So after the front flip maneuver, they're then rotating even further round to get that additional rotation. Okay, but here we have Javi Kaur. Interesting approach here. First trick attempts are on. Just seeing that there's actually 2 riders out there in Armstrong. So we missed that first trick from Javi Kaur just because there were 2 riders out there with the Armstrong gear. So sorry about that, but it was a big score of innovation here. And Luca there going for that toe side, front side 9 that we know he can land. It was a big 8.5, I reckon, around there in the last quarterfinal. He's gone for it again. Not necessarily the cleanest of land as you can watch here. He goes around, whips it round. A little bit of a sinker at the end. He'll be deducted points there. Maybe it potentially will go down as a crash. I'm not too sure. That's why I'm up in the booth and not a judge. But let's see what goes forward. Clement Hamon now. Coming in toe side into the box. The score from Luca is going to score, but points are heavily deducted because of the landing. Cool, that guy on the kite in the background is absolutely flying. But I tell you who else will be flying in about 2 seconds, 3 seconds time. This guy in front, Clement. What have you got for us? Coming in toe side, switches it round, multiple rotations and a clean landing there from him. That will be a great way to start. I mean, he's opened up with an 8.17. And I'm pretty sure that a move like this, I mean, just look how fast and whippy that rotation is. So compact. As the back loop into the front side 3 scored an 8.17. Oh, my word. We are going to be hitting the home run here on this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is a biggie. This is going to be backing up that 8.17 beautifully here, pushing Clement into first place. Axel Gerard opened up on a front flip, front side 360. Absolute mouthful now, these tricks. But here we go. 1, 2, front side 7, crash. Unlucky for him. First crash of the heat. Next up, Javi Kaur. You see the replay here. He goes up, tweaks 1, 2. Oh, he went for the 10. Sorry, my bad. He went for the 10. I was surprised. Winds on now out there. Javi Kaur now riding in towards competition area. Beautiful shot here of our site there. You can see the judge tower. Javi coming in now, toe side. What's he got for us? Are we going to see a toe side back mode? Yes, we are. And he goes down. Gets a bit of an iffy landing, going heavy on the nose. Body dragging his way back to the board. So, Javi Kaur crashing out on that one, as you can see there. Doesn't get the clean landing he was wishing for. So, like Axel, has a crash on his second trick. Back now to Luca, second place on an 8.90. That's combined with 2 scores. The toe side, front side 7 that he did scored a low 2.7. Could see the requirement for some slow-mo replays as well. We'll see what we can do. I reckon we might be able to do that for you. But there we have the toe side, front side 9, sorry. And we just watched the replay. Beautiful there from Luca. Okay, current heat leader. Clement, 16.60. So he's had a Radiculo 7 and a back loop spin front side 360. Coming in once again toe side. So are we going to see a toe side maneuver? You can see our photographers there getting the best possible shots. And here we go now. Right foot forward. So maybe a combo coming in from Clement. Beautiful shot there with the drone. I mean, just look at that. And you can see exactly how fast they're going. Back mobe. Landed just about. That's going to score. It's not going to be the highest score that we've seen with a back mobe, just because I think the landing, if you watch here, he just sinks a little bit. It's not straight back up onto the foil. Just there, you see? Got to fight it a little bit there. But it's still going to score. Base scores for those back mobes are up and around the 8. So here we go. Axel Gerard tweaks 1-2. Going for the 1080, and he lands it beautifully. Axel Gerard now has done one of the first 1080s we've seen. I'm not sure if Chris was on it in the last one, but here we go. 1, 2, 3. And Axel Gerard, one of those riders that does them so well. Like I mentioned, the likes of Christopher McDonald, he's absolutely smashes those frontside 1080s. So Axel Gerard, again, scores coming in. It's looking good, especially in the lighter conditions, to be able to get round 3 multiple rotations, you know, in the lighter conditions. Really, really impressive stuff. Xavi Core, 3rd trick attempt. Trick attempt number 3 from Xavi. Goes to that toe side back mobe. Again, though, board gets away from him. Can Xavi keep it together? He's had 2. Well, this is his 3rd heat in the competition. The first 2 he had were absolute blinders. Not necessarily the start he would have wanted with 2 crashes out of 3 tricks. Opening up, however, early with a good 8.33. Still remains in 4th position with 1 score counted to his trick. 3rd position now, Luca, on your screen. Needs another trick to back up the first 2. Here we go, 4th trick attempt, coming in with speed, left foot forward. Up, 1, 2, and doesn't land it. Would have seen Axel Gerard land that front side 10. He's also gone for something similar, but didn't quite get enough rotation to get him whip all the way around. As you can see, 1, 2, and maybe would have wanted the 3rd as well, but lacking a little bit of height there. And we return now to our heat leader, who is having a very good day here at the moment. I mean, really taking it to McDonald in that last heat until the last trick. Clement, the French rider, also part of that large gong team, has had a killer heat so far, has led 3 tricks, all of which have been over the 7s with 2 8s. And he's having the perfect start at the moment. You can see the slight different rotation in the hands there. He's gone for the back mobe. I think maybe also looking to get around with that front side 3, but unfortunately losing it on the way down. You can see, you know that Clement is going to do that, you know, when he moves, when he pulls that backhand up a little bit further on the boom towards that leading edge, you know that the back mobe's going to come in. So, Axel Gerard now has had 2 tricks counting to his 3 score. So actually the only rider that has 3 tricks counting at the moment is Clement. And Axel Gerard, the back mobe, one of the best we've seen of the day so far. We can see plenty of height going into this one. Pops nicely and is straight back onto the foil. That was the impressive thing there with that back mobe. The fact that he was back on that foil so quickly. Really nicely well done at landing there. And now attention goes on to Xavi Core. Okay, this is a rider who has not really put a foot wrong all competition, and is now finding himself in a position that maybe he doesn't want to be in after, again, a beautiful back mobe. I thought I saw it from Axel. That one there from Xavi Core, in my opinion, was that little bit sweeter. As you can see here, again, moves that backhand over, whips it round, straight back onto the foil. So let's compare these 2 scores now. I mean, we saw a back mobe from Clement. That was a 7.77. Axel Gerard's was a little bit better. That's now clocked in at 8.47. Now, how does the one that Xavi Core just did compare to the one that we saw from Axel? Scores are coming in. It's going to be very, very similar. And it is now a score that Xavi needs to come in hot and fast. It's looking like it's good. It might even be bang on the money, the same as Axel Gerard. But focus now onto Luca. Here we go. He needs another trick counting. Only the 2. To go into second, he needs more than a 10, so he needs to get a big score here and follow it up with another big one on one of his other tricks. Here we go. He goes up. 1, 2. He's looking for the 1080, I think. But that's going to be a crash. Okay, Xavi Core, what have you got for us? Scores still to drop. You can see, just keep your eye on Xavi Core's score. What is that back mobe going to clock in at? Boom. There it is. 8.50. So only slightly 0.03 of a point difference between the one that he did and the one that Axel did. Clement now. 5th trick attempt. Current heat, well, I was going to say heat leader, but now Axel, after that back mob, has gone into 1st place. So 2nd place on your screen now. Lowest score is the back mob of 7.77. Does he know it? Watch out for that backhand. There you go. Changes. Back mob. Great height. Crash. He wants it. He wants that further rotation on the way down. As soon as you see that backhand go towards the leading edge of the wing, you know what's coming. Axel Gerard now, lowest score is a front flip into a front side 3. 25.35 combined score. What's he got for us now? Are we going to see the same thing? Does he know that that's the score he needs to improve? The young French rider now, locked and loaded, backflip into a front side 3, I believe. Let's watch the replay here. All happened so far. So there's the backflip. Yeah, into the front side 3. I was right. Very well executed there. That is going to probably knock off the front flip into the front side 3 that he had. And might just edge. So the lowest score that Axel has is the 8. This one looks like it's going to make that combined score of 25.35. Maybe go into around the 26s. Maybe just shy of 26. But okay, here we go. Xavi Core, he needs a 7.55 to go into 2nd and an 8.53 to go into 1st. Toe side back mode. That's what's coming up. But he goes down in the drink face first. Nice slap there. Won't be happy with that one. As we come into the back end now of this heat. So Xavi Core's really got a lot of work to do now because we know he wants to push. And although he still has 2 tricks and 2 tricks left, and 2 tricks counting, he still does have that 3rd trick that he needs. Needs a 9.03 now because Axel Gerard is flying out the gates as Luca goes for the back mob as well, but not able to land it. Axel Gerard for the backflip frontside 3 has scored an 8.50, so he's now well and truly out in front on a 25.85. Clement, 2nd place on your screen now. What's his lowest score? 7.77 back mob. So here he is now on the middle, trick attempt number 6. By the end of this, I'm going to be absolutely speechless after this final because, I mean, the level is through the roof. Clement, watch that backhand, everyone. Does he want to do it again? He knows he's got 2 tricks left, so maybe he'll try it one more. Yes, there we go. Back mob. Doesn't able to do it. He's not able to find the rhythm on this trick. That's 3 crashes in a row now on the same maneuver. Got to go back to the drawing board on that one. Will we see another attempt from Clement on that with just 1 attempt left? He is in 2nd place still, but it's marginal. It is very, very marginal indeed. Because you have to consider what Xavi Core needs. Looking at Luca's score now, to go 2nd, he needs a 10.08. So actually, unfortunately for Luca, he is comboed out. Impossible for him to get into the semi-finals. Axel Gerard, one-handed Batmo it looked like, going into it. But you can see just lost it on the way down with the wing. Xavi Core now. Okay, here we go. Big one needed. 9.03 to go first. 7.55 to go second. Ooh, that was nearly a slicer. We nearly saw Xavi be split into 2 there. And this is where it's going to get interesting. Let's try and see if we can get a replay of that. So, final trick attempts now of the round. Luca here is comboed out, so it's impossible for him to get into the semi-finals. He needs a big, well, I mean, he needs a perfect score, and even that's not going to be enough. So just enjoy this one, Luca, and let's see if he might not even know, but still, I expect Luca to send it and push in a 1, 2, and a 3. There we go, front side 10. Front side 10 there from Luca. Could have done with that one. a few tricks ago. As we watch the replay, 1, 2, and he gets around. And actually now looking at the replay, it looked like a frontside 7. So even that would have been not enough. Wasn't able to get the third rotation in. 6.87 there for Luca. 21.17 overall total score. Confirming his place in third position now after overtaking Xavi. But Xavi still, however, can make the cut. Clement, what have you got for us? Second place. Needs a big score here to put some pressure on the other two riders. What do we expect from the youngster? Backhand again, look at it. He's going for the back mobe again. He's got that underhand grip. We know he's gone for the back roll into a frontside 3. Clement, ham on. That is how you deliver. Signed, sealed, delivered. He has had his lunch. He has had his breakfast. He is cooking now. As he goes up, just to watch the delayed rotation, and then on the way down, gets that hand back on the boom and is able to do that frontside 3. And the scores for this one are juicy. All right, they are juicy. They're coming in the 9s. So Clement is going to go into first place. This guy now, second place. Oh, my word, it's tight. Someone get the defib out because it's getting a bit crazy up here. 25.85 Axel Gerard. 25.20 Clement for the back loop frontside 3. Crash from Axel. Okay, so this is where it happens now, ladies and gentlemen. Axel will stay in first position. Let's get all eyes on Xavi Core. Okay, he needs an 8.38. If he gets an 8.38, he makes it through into the semis. A score which he's done in every single heat so far. If he crashes, he's out. If he lands it, he makes it. Xavi Core, does he stay on the foil? He's pumping like there's no tomorrow. Look at him. Toe side pumping. Back on the foil. Is that going to be enough? I mean, talk about a buzzer beater. Clement is vulnerable here. That was the last trick of the heat. It is going to be awfully tight. I can see mid 8.5s coming through, but is the average going to be enough for Xavi Core? We will have the results straight after these heat highlights. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the second semi-final of the men's surf freestyle here in Tarifa. Bastien Escofet with his teammate Manuel Guenolaire, Thomas Archer and Christopher McDonald. And I can confirm that it was Xavi Core who will be making it through to the final alongside Axel Gerard after Xavi hit an 8.67 on that final trick attempt. I mean, what a way to round it off. Talk about a buzzer beater. Unfortunately for Clement, he was 0.31 of a point away after Xavi Core landed that. Every heat now is so tight. So here we go. These are our 4 riders. Don't go anywhere. Current Surf Freestyle World Champion and also the champion last year here in Tarifa. Christopher McDonald will be the last one to jump. Keep your eyes on him. Thomas Archer as well has had an event to remember. He is firing through the gates. Malo Guenolaire, I feel, hasn't really been able to find that gear that he really is famous for getting. He struggled a little bit, but he keeps it together. He does land those big moves when it matters, and he'll be up against what we call the powerhouse Bastien Escofet. And Bastien there opening up on that back loop with a frontside 360. To say backspin, sorry, as you watch the replay here, moves that backhand, does the spin, comes around on that frontside 3. So Bastien there opening up nicely. Who do we reckon's going through, everyone? Who is going to be joining Xavi Core and Axel Gerard in the final? Are we going to see a Chris and Malo showdown once again? Is Bastien going to make it through? Or will we see a new face, Thomas, in the final with Malo there opening up with a nice front flip? So here we go. Thomas now up next. 7 tricks, 3 of which are going to be counting towards the score. Who's your money on? Big heat coming our way. This is going to be unreal. Could potentially be a candidate for heat of the day if it all aligns with these 4 riders. It could be anyone's game, despite there being the likes of Chris in here as well and Malo. I mean, these other 3, I mean, just look at that combo. That is textbook stuff. The pop. Just watch the pop once again if we can get a replay. Unreal combo. As you can see here, nice front flip, gets the pop. Similar actual pop style to Chris McDonald. You know, we know that when he does his pops on the combos, he really is able to get a lot of height into that front side 3. And Thomas there displaying exactly the same thing as Chris McDonald here, opening up beautifully with that one-handed back mode there. Going into the rotation. Just with one hand on the boom does make a massive difference, as we see here. He just takes it off on takeoff. And he's straight back up onto the foil. Smooth as you like. Bada bing, bada bomb. 8.50. Sign, sealed, delivered. That is how you open up as a world champion. Bastien Escofet now actually did open up rather better with an 8.6 for his back loop. Spin frontside 360. Here he is. Love watching Bastien ride just because he goes in full commitment, and I love the delayed loop that he does in his front loops. You always see him do that on those maneuvers. He rides full steam ahead as we watch the replay. Pop, wait, bang, snaps around and then pulls the loop. So elegant, such great style from him. And now teammate Malo Guenolaire is going to be up next. Has a 6.67 to open up his accounts with the front flip. What else are we going to see from Malo? Last heat, he had a bit of a shaky start, crashing the first 3 or 4 tricks of his. So maybe he's just looking to get some points on the board as he comes in now. What sort of innovation are we also going to see from Malo? He's a rider that likes to bring some new things to the table as he rotates here now, coming in and coming out beautifully there, bringing the wing to the other side of the body before the maneuver. Replay showing here. Let's try and get this one. So he rotates. And leaves it now in Thomas's hands with a 7.47 opening up with that combo. So the front loop there from Bastien, 7.07. Thomas now. You can see there Samuel and our photographers in the firing zone. You wouldn't want to get one of these foils on your heads, that's for sure. But here we go, Thomas. Following from the drone, riding toe side. Turns around. He's going to be coming in doing his trick, I imagine, left foot forward now. Oh, I need to take the words out of my mouth. How about right foot forwards? How about that one now? Windsurfer casually just mowing the lawn through the competition area. As you do, but here we go. Thomas, loading up. Plenty of power going into this one. What are we going to see? Maybe a back mobe. I know he likes to do his back mobes going out right foot forwards. Delayed, similar to Bastian. Into the front side 3. Does he make it round? Yes, he does. Beautiful there from the youngster. Looked like he might have got caught up in it, but managing to get out of that one. You see here, he rotates pretty much on the flip. And we now return to Chris McDonald, who opened up, yes, with his back mobe of an 8.50. You can see here, I reckon that that right hand of his is going to go behind his back maybe. But he goes just casually for the one-handed backflip into a front side 3. Chris McDonald doesn't put a foot wrong. We watched the replay. He looked so casual going into this. I didn't even think he was going to jump. I thought he was just looking over his shoulder, looking maybe for the wind line or trying to see, when the next big gust was coming. But nope, he just thought, you know what, I'm going to do my second trick here and I'm going to score big because it's looking like it's going to score big. Up in the 9s. It's in the 9s. Couldn't have looked more casual doing it. And he's scored the highest scoring trick so far in this heat. Not of the day, in this heat. Which you'll soon see as Bastian goes for the grab there and straight back onto the foil. Back loop with a grab there. Let's just watch that one on replay as I caught that at the corner of my eye. And you can see innovation there from Chris of a 9.17. Bastian back loop with that grab on the front of the board. Nice bit of variety there. Don't take grabs away from anyone. They are rewarded heavily. And here we go. Bastian Escofet. Goes for his trick into the back mobe and lands it beautifully. Good back mobe there from Bastian. Scores to drop there for Bastian. You can see there, he's the only rider at the moment with 3 scored tricks. He's landed all his 3. That's because we are on trick attempt number 3. But it's looking good for Mallow, who has scored an 8.43 coming in on that score. Yet to drop on your screens, has dropped on mine. And Thomas now coming in. Right foot forwards. Every single one of these riders has not crashed yet. Let's bear that in mind. I mean, what a start we've had to this second semi-final. Back mobe, 8.43 there for Mallow. He now goes into first position as Thomas also going for the same maneuver. Lands it. Keeps the momentum going of his no crashed heat so far. Replay shows here. Let's see how much height and amplitude he was able to get. A really nice snappy rotation there. A little bit of an iffy landing, let's say. Not straight back up onto the foil. So maybe we'll lose a few points. Maybe we're looking at the high 7s if we compare that to the one that Mallow did just previously. But now we move over to Chris McDonald, 17.67. He is currently needing a 4.88 only, which I'm pretty sure he can get. And there you go. You can see that right hand now on the boom, whipping around straight back onto the foil, but unfortunately breaches it on the landing. So he has the first crash of the heat. His position won't change now, and he'll remain just in 4th, but nothing to be too worried about just yet because we still have 4 trick attempts remaining for all of our riders. And he does have some heavy scores as well, a 9.17 and an 8.5. So he's still in a good position, Chris. As you can see, Bastian here, coming down from orbit on that one. He is going to have a red back after that slap on the water. As you can see, he wasn't able to grab the wing and boom. Mallow now going for a similar setup. We've seen Chris set up like this. So Mallow here, look at the locks in the wind as well. He is really in the groove. What are we going to see? Blind start here from Mallow. What does he need? Let's have a little look what he needs to bump his way. And he goes a little bit more loose on the rotation there. Not able to keep it together. As you see, finds that kicker, but just digs the nose of the board in. Will remain in first position. Okay, what does Thomas need now? Okay, he needs to find 1.68 on one of his lowest scores. Lowest score is a front flip into a frontside 3, which was a 6.17. Thomas actually has the 3 lowest combined scores at the moment. And he's gone for that delayed into a frontside 3. That was smoother. A lot smoother there from the Austrian. That will improve that 6.17. So he is pretty much going to be having a score difference now. Keep an eye on Thomas Archer's score. The young bloods, the duotone rider, finding the groove now halfway through the heat. Now we go to Chris McDonald. And there we go. Chris McDonald does not make the same mistake twice. Innovation. We're going to see scores coming down now. Wait for this one, because I reckon we're going to see Chris bump up into first place. So here we go. What is the score for Chris coming down here? It's looking healthy. I mean, he only needs a 6.17 to go into first. As we watch the replay here from Bastien. Beautiful, beautiful big back mobe there. And Chris, keep your eye on that little white square there that's empty. We got a 9.17, an 8.50. And what else is McDonald going to deliver? Bastien also has a score to drop. 5th trick attempt. Okay, Malo, what have you got for us, mate? So you are currently in first position. Score as well still to drop from Chris. I do think it's going to be a lot of mixing and shaking around once that score drops. You can see Bastien as well. His score is going to change because he's got a very nice one coming his way. Malo now just chilling out there, as you do, riding like that. But it's a crash from Malo, not getting the pop and the high. Okay, look at the scores now. There's been a little switcheroo out there. Chris McDonald, 9.50 for that last toe side maneuver that he did. Bastien Escofet with a huge back mobe, 8.80. Reward, risk and reward, commitment. Think about those words. That's what the judges want to see. And now we go to Thomas, who is in 4th position now. Needs, I would say, you know, he's been all right, but I mean, 23.60 would be a score in any other heat where you would be comfortable in going through this round. But to think that that's a score where you find yourself in 4th position is quite outstanding, really. I mean, it just shows the level that we are now seeing here at the famous spot of Tarifa. So good to be here. So good to be bringing the tour back here, as we see here Thomas crashing out on the landing. Always a pleasure. Never a chore to come to Tarifa. And Christopher McDonald, current heat leader. What does he want to improve? Okay, back mobe. Oh, he's gone huge on the back mobe. Thank God his feet stayed in the straps there. Otherwise, he could have found himself on that foil. Okay, so I think Chris knows that he can't do much on the innovation that he has. He's got a 9.17 and a 9.50. He's got to get pretty much a 10 to improve on one of those. The lowest score he has is a back mobe, hence why he's just gone for it there. The back mobe scored an 8.50. And Bastien Escofet, in the meantime, has gone massive. Back mobe into a front side 3. Nearly loses it, but keeps it together. Incredible stuff there from Bastien Escofet. His score is also going to change now. What is going on? Someone, get up here and help me out. What is going on? I mean, the 9s are coming in now for Bastien. Malo, teammate, in third position now, was leading the heat for about 5 tricks. I mean, what's happened? He's gone from first to third. Chris from fourth to first. Bastian has been all over the shop. And he's now on a 26.93. 9.53 for the back mobe into a frontside 3 for Bastian. You see now scores dropping. Mallow, what's he got for us? Again, riding in the blinds. He needs to get a better pop this time. He's going for that same trick, I reckon. And he's gone for it. But again, he's crashed out. Tricks number 6. After these next 2 tricks, we're going to be in the last attempt. So here we go. Thomas now, what does he need to go second? He needs to find the 3.34 advantage on one of his current scores. Lowest score is a back mobe. I feel like I've been saying the word back mobe about 150 times in the last hour. But anyway, 7.23 for the back mobe. Are we going to see another one from him to try and improve on that? Yes, we nearly are. It's a bit messy though. But anyway, we carry on. That's going to go down as a crash. If I had €1 for every time I said back mobe, I would be rich. But here, Chris McDonald now coming up next. 27.17, still your heat leader. Unfortunately, we cannot have a clock on the screen. I know it would be ideal because there is a little bit of flexibility with the riders if they don't get the right guts. Chris McDonald also going for that back mode into a frontside 3. Lands it, not as clean as Bastian, but it's going to be a nice score coming his way as we watch here. Yeah, back mobe into the frontside 3. Definitely Bastian, I think we could all agree, was a little bit more explosive and powerful. And there we have Akaita. Maybe he's the fifth rider in this heat. But anyway, we carry on. Okay, so final trick attempts. Starting with Bastian Escofet. What does he want to improve? Okay, let's go. Back loop. Into the front side. Oh, my word. He is going to the moon. Bastian Escofet. 8.60 was the score that he opened up with the exact same trick. And just watch the height. And the distance covered as well. Nearly puts his head through the wing as well in the end. Mallow needs to find 3.11 on one of his scores. The lowest score he has is a front flip. 6.67. He opened up on it. If he doesn't land this, he's going to be crashed out. And he... Oh, my word. What is going on here? Mallow, I mean, why leave it to the end? You keep me on the edge of my seat. Straight back onto the foil as well. Bastian Escovet can forget about that last score. It's not going to be enough. He's going to stay in second place. But I think his teammate could knock him out. And Thomas here, huge front flip. And you can see the frustration. He wanted the combo. He's not going to get it. He's going to have a ticket now out of the competition in 4th position. Final trick now. The question mark now is on second place. Christopher McDonald has confirmed his spot in the final. I bet you're pleased at home, Nicole, watching this. But there he is on the screen now. He's in the final now. Maybe he knows it, maybe he doesn't. Malor Guenoler's score has dropped for a Radiculo 7. It's not enough for Bastian. Bastian Escofet will remain in second place. Christopher McDonald in first. Malor Guenoler in third. Unless there is a minor score change that happens between now and when the heat is over, when they get validated, it might stay the same like that. And the buzzer has beat it. So, not sure just yet. Waiting on confirmation. Christopher McDonald is in the final. Malor and Bastian, it is tight at the top. I think it's going to be Bastian who advances. Do not go anywhere. We are going to be going on a heat break. We have content coming your way. Grab a drink. If you're there somewhere and it's 5 o'clock, grab a beer, have one on me, and carry on watching because we have an epic show in the final coming your way. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the mix here. Get comfortable because we have the men's Surf-Freestyle final coming your way. And we can see from the sky here the riders that are going to be going onto the water very, very shortly. Exciting stuff. As we have there our riders getting ready. It is the final here in Tarifa. Can Christopher McDonald keep the title alive, regain the Tarifa Surf Freestyle Championship here for the second year in a row? Or are we going to see a different rider take the title? You can see there Axel Gerard on the right, Xavi Core there on the left, Bastien Escofet there, taking to the water first. Christopher McDonald following closely behind, Xavi Core there on the Armstrong gear, and Axel Gerard. Those are your finalists. Axel Gerard, what can he do here? Has been riding extremely well from the start to the finish. All four riders there going out at the same time. Friends off the water, enemies on the water. And here we go. What are we going to see? One thing I can guarantee is innovation. So, while these riders get out to the competition area, don't go anywhere. We will have advertisements coming your way. Okay, so let's put faces to the names. Xavi Core will be jumping first. Following that will be Bastien Escofet, Axel Gerard, and then the guy to jump last will be Christopher McDonald. Those are your four riders. Xavi Core will be riding Armstrong, Bastien Gong, Axel AFS, and Chris F1. Okay, so keep an eye out for those riders. Let's get active. Who do you reckon? Who's going to win? Let me know in the comments. Who is going to be taking the title? How and what are we going to be seeing? See a comment there. Someone saying these guys are aliens. It is crazy. Yeah, what they're doing in this sport is quite fascinating, really. I mean, it's been about a month since Lucat, and we've seen numerous new types of innovation. I mean, in Lucat, we did have around 50 to 60 knots, one of the more windy conditions that we've ever ran for the GWA. So maybe in the slightly lighter winds of Poniente, these riders are, you know, pushing a little bit more, feeling maybe a little bit more in tune with the gear in let's say, less crazy conditions. But excellent competition we've had so far. It's been brilliant all day. It's been a day from the quarterfinals, semifinals, to now the final heat of the second Surf-Freestyle stop of this calendar year in 2024 for the GWA Wingfoil World Tour. Title points up for grabs. Can Chris McDonald make it 2 wins out of 2? Or can Xavi Core take the title back? He won it in 2022. Will we see a new guy on the podium, Bastien Escofet or Axel Gerard? They could potentially be in with a sniff here. It is as close as it's going to get. And yet, are we going to see a perfect 10? Are we going to see the perfect 10? You can see there Joe and tour manager Tom Hartman on the right-hand side, eagerly waiting for this competition to get back underway. Red flag is up on the left. That is where we need to keep our eye on. You can see there the window above is the judge tower. That's where our experienced judges have got to be all eyes on the prize on the water because it's tight out there. And then we're just waiting for that yellow flag to be raised. Yellow flag basically indicates that there's less than 1 minute remaining until the green flag then goes up. And then we go into sequence. Just been told by Joe, 3 minutes to green. Okay, so here we go. Get comfy. If you need a drink or need to get comfortable, now's the time to do it, because I can guarantee the next 20 minutes is going to be one to remember. Could go down in the history books. This it's a 4-man heat, 4-man final. Let me know your predictions. Who's taking the win? Who's finishing second, third? What do we reckon? Got about 25 knots out there, Poniente. Sort of cross on shore, as you can see from the flag direction there. Just waiting patiently for that yellow flag. All riders on the water. All riders ready. We're ready here in the booth. I'm sure you're ready now at home. Crowd is ready on the beach. Judges are set. And we are now going in for the final. As we can see there, Joe, giving you a wave, creating the stoke on the beach. There you go for you at home, tuning in. Beach is absolutely rammed there on the right-hand side. Doesn't look too much on the left, but on the right, behind. It's an annual holiday today here at Tarifa, and people are making the most of it. Val de Vaqueros, we're just in front of the Bibo Beach House. As the yellow flag now gets up. So less than 1 minute until the start of this heat. So let's just talk about a few of the tricks that we can see that might go down. I mean, the innovation, for example, we're seeing is through the roof. We've got backside 720 handle passes coming in. We've obviously got the back mobe 360. That scores very, very high. The back mobe as well is a great staple. We're seeing toe side front flips, toe side back flips. You know, numerous types of grabs as well. You know, that front flip and the back flip used to be the go-to moves, but now, you know, most of the riders can do those with ease. What sort of combos are we going to see? Maybe we're going to see a triple combo. We know that Chris McDonald can do that. You know, we've seen him go into one move, whether that's a front flip or back flip, then into a front side 3 and another front side 3. Are we going to see a back flip into a back flip? That's also a potential as well. So much at stake here. So many points up for grabs as well. It's not just winning this event that matters. You know, you get ranking points. You know, so they're also fighting for the world title over the course of the year. Every event, these riders accumulate points, and those points go towards your ranking. At the moment, it's Christopher McDonald, because he won the event in Le Cat, who leads the rankings. But here we go. Xavi Core is the first one to jump, and he opens up with... not maybe the landing he was hoping for there. Toe side, back mode by the looks of things. Yep, doesn't quite get the full rotation on the way down. It will score, but I don't think it's going to score high. But nonetheless, it's a score on the board for Mr. Core. Bastien Escovet now. Okay, we love watching this guy. The powerhouse always does that little hop and skip with the foil before going into his jump. Maybe that's the little routine he has. Seems to work anyway. Here we go. Bastien Escovet. Lining up. There you go. Change of the hand. Goes for sort of a delayed backspin into a front 3 there. But yet, think that will probably be a crash. I mean, he was swimming for a good couple of seconds there. As you can see, just keep all your eyes on that backhand when people want to line up for those back mobe maneuvers, whether that's sort of a back spin or back mobe. It's gone down as a crash. Xavi Core has a 4.50. Axel Gerard as well will go down as a crash. Let's just watch this replay again as he goes up, finds the kicker. Front flip into the front side 3, but wasn't able to rotate and get around. Okay, so here he is. Theoretically, the man to beat, Christopher McDonald. The consistency shown from this American rider is quite extraordinary. Here we go. He's coming right in towards the judges. He's gone for the one-handed back mobe. And pretty much straight back onto the foil. Great way to open up. Christopher McDonald. He'll be going into first place now after that. It's looking around to be the 8s. Okay, so this is definitely a rider that we need to keep an eye on in this final because Xavi Core has been putting innovation down, which has been scoring the high 8s and the 9s. But that is a huge crash there for the Spaniard. Will not be happy with that one. Will want to forget what just happened. He's tried to repeat the first trick he actually attempted. But you can see if you don't get hold of that wing on the rotation, you are going down hard. And that's exactly what Xavi demonstrated there. Unfortunately for him, that's a crash. Second trick attempt. 7 trick attempts is what we have. 3 of the tricks are going to be counting. Bastien Escofet, the second rider, into a huge front flip. Crashed the first one, wants to get some points on the board. Bastien probably does the biggest front flips out there in the fleet. You can see, I love how he does that stall as well. He like goes up and you think he's just going to go up for an air. And then just at the peak of the jump, whips around that front flip. Judges like what they see. Going to be a nice score. But I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think the 7s are going to do it in this final. I think the 7s and the low 8s aren't going to be enough. You need to be scoring 8.5 or above, really, on your each trick to have a chance of having a win here. Which is absolutely crazy to be saying. Because if you told me I need to be saying that statement at the start of this competition, I would have said, well, we see 8.5s and 9s from 3 tricks from all the riders. That really is quite incredible. And here we have Chris, the one-hand move again. What are we going to see from him? He looks so casual going into this. Looks like he's just chilling out there. Before you know it, boom, he does a one-handed backflip frontside 3. But he's actually going toe side as well. As you can see, yeah, riding toe side into toe side, which is crazy to think. As Xavi Core here, I think there has just landed a trick. Might have missed that one, unfortunately. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But we have a replay for you, which is always good. And he nails it. He nails it. That is what we want to see from Xavi. Better. Christopher McDonald has the crash. I do think he's going to go for that toe side into the rotation toe side again. Xavi's score looking rather on the healthy side. Bastien now does the old switcheroo, front loop of a 7. What does he have now for us? Bastien Escofet, third trick attempt. Looking pretty loaded. Gets the grab. But the grab is all he gets there on that rotation. Maybe wanting a little bit more. We watch the replay there. Here we go. You can see, grabs it in that back roll. Nice grab though. I mean, judges will really like what they see there. Grabbing the nose of the board. Decent rotate, decent duration as well, sorry. But Axel Gerard needing a score here really because he has had 2 crashes. He's gone for the 10. And the 10's got his number there. Unfortunately, not going to be... Well, maybe he actually came out of that one, I see. Let's just have a look at the replay. He goes up. 1, 2. Gets the 3rd. Questionable. And I think that's going to be down as a crash there for Axel Gerard. If he does get scored, I think it's going to be extremely low. Okay, so here we go. Watch Chris here. He goes toe side. And he's aiming to land back into toe side as well. Toe side. Doesn't get it. Doesn't get the pop he needed. So, really, these riders not having, any of them really, the best start to the heat. Xavi Core has improved on the first trick that he had, which was a 4.5, with his 8.7 now of innovation. So, Xavi Core is in second, Chris third, Bastien first. But Bastien is the only rider that has 2 tricks counting to his score, as you can see. You can see there Chris has a score of a 0, but you can forget about that one as Xavi Core goes into a crash. Trying to go for that back mob into a frontside 360. We know that scores well. That is really a trick that can make or break you in this final. If you come out of that and land it and get that extra rotation, you can see he was about 180 of the way around there. Then that's going to really, really help you as we're halfway now into this heat. Bastien, first position rider here. Back roll into a frontside 3. That's going to score nicely, which will mean that Bastien is the only rider to have 3 tricks on the scorecard. That leaves him in quite a healthy position, actually, because, I mean, you've got Xavi, who's crashed twice, Chris, who's crashed twice, and Axel, who's crashed 3 times. Now, if Axel doesn't make a landing here, he is going to have a lot on his plate. He needs to then probably do 3 big tricks. So, what does he have for us now? Let's see how much experience comes in. Axel Gerard coming in lit, coming in powered, jumps back flip only. Needs to do better than that, but it's good for Axel. He's getting a trick on the board, he's getting points, and at this rate, he needs them. Backflip, yep, only a backflip. Okay, Chris McDonald looks like he really wants this this toe side maneuver here when he lands back into toe side, waiting. I think he's got to try and use a kicker to his advantage. That looks better. And he gets the hand on just in time. We're now on trick attempt number 5. 3 tricks remaining for each rider. 3 rounds of tricks. So we're past the halfway point now. I'm pretty certain that that trick there is going to put Chris in the lead. Keep an eye on Xavi. He only has 1 trick counting to his scores at the moment. I think this is all going to come down to the wire, you know, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're going to be trick 6 and 7. We're going to be like all over the shop here with scores, and everyone's going to be going from 1st, 2nd, up to 3rd, down to 4th, up back to 1st. But that's what we want to see. That's what finals are all about. Xavi Core finds a kicker and goes in the drink. That's another crash. Okay, so Xavi Core needs 2 good tricks on his 2 last attempts. Bastien Escofet actually is probably in the better position of all 4 riders here, as he has 3 tricks that are already dialed down. However, Chris is hot on his heels with 2 big 8s, but Bastien Escofet, huge back mode there. Huge back mode. That's going to definitely put that back loop spin that he has over 6.77 out of the equation. So watch Bastien's score. I mean, look at the state of that back mobe. So much height on it. Axel Gerard now needs a biggie, because the 5, he's going to want to try and forget about that, but he needs to then land 3 good ones here. So essentially he needs 3 good tricks. 1, 2. That's a front side 10, I believe. Let's watch the replay, because if that's landed, that will get Axel back in the mix. 1, 2, 3. Front side 10. First one of the final that we've seen landed. And even attempted, in fact. Back mode from Bastien, 8.87. Gets himself further in front. Axel Gerard's scores now coming in. Looking like they're just in the high 8s. Christopher McDonald now. Give us something to get off our seat about. Come on, big dog. Get into the groove. You need to have a good score here. Oh, he's riding blind. He's gone blind. Looks so uncomfortable, that. But they make it work. Here we go. Christopher McDonald lands it straight back onto the foil. Incredible stuff there from the American rider. That is why he is our current Surf-Freestyle world champion. Look at the execution coming out of this trick. Straight back onto the foil. That's going to be in the 9s. This is where it's now going to get spicy. All right, this is where we've had the hot chilies. All right, we're going to be going in guns blazing now. Xavi Core, 2 tricks left. He needs 2 landed tricks, because Chris McDonald is on 26.73. He just scored a 9.23. Xavi Core cannot win this if he doesn't get 2 big scores now. He needs to be getting in the 8s here. He needs to land it. If he crashes, the title is over for Xavi. As it goes quiet. All watching Xavi. What have you got for us? Does he have the minerals? Xavi, gaining speed, goes up. And he crashes out Xavi Core. That is going to be the end, potentially, for Xavi Core's title hopes. He is going to be tricked out now. So Xavi Core. Yeah, it's impossible. He cannot get any further ahead into a winning position. Bastien Escofet now is currently second, chasing Chris McDonald. He needs to go big. The front loop that he did is his lowest scoring trick. He needs to get in the 9s. Back mobe into a frontside 3. Bastien Escofet, no. I don't think that's going to count. I mean, it was a pretty heavy landing. As he goes up, just watch the landing here. He nearly gets the rotation. But no, doesn't quite manage to go through. Axel Gerard lands it when it needs it. There we go. The AFS Frenchman delivering at the latter final stages of this heat. Watching the replay here, we go the back mobe. Beautifully done there from Axel. Is it going to be enough though? Because you need to be getting into the, like I said, the high 8s, early 9s. When you've got this guy knocking at the door, Chris McDonald, 9.23. Talk about dealing with the pressure. He's been here event after event in the same position. He knows how to win. Once again, back mode, front side 3. Christopher McDonald putting the nail in the coffin. Talk about a way to do it. I mean, just watch right in front of the judges into the front side 3. Unbelievable there from the American. He is going to remain for sure in first. Oh, it's looking like it's going to be in the 9s. It's looking like it's going to be in the 9s. Xavi Core, although you are tricked out, my friend, just give it all you've got. Give it all you've got. You can still get third position. That's nice. Into the front side 3. Xavi Core could have done with that about 2 minutes ago. I mean, he'll probably be stoked, but also kicking himself at the same time, thinking, why the hell couldn't I have done that on trick attempt number 4, 5, or 6? I mean, he saw Chris do it, and he thought, you know what, Chris, I'll give that a bash as well, and he's gone and landed it. At 9.43 for Christopher McDonald. Look at that for a total score. 27.59. Bastien Escofet needs a whopper. He needs a whopper. He needs to get rid of that front loop. That 7.00 is doing him no justice there. He needs to go, I reckon, back mobe, front side 3. Back mobe, front side 3. And it's a crash. Is it? Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. So the only chap that can do it is Axel Gerard. And I think the only move that is going to do it is a back mobe into a front side 3. Unless we see something that has never been done before. Gerard, front flip, into a front side 3. He lands it, yes, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Bastien Escofet's been crashed out on that last move. Axel Gerard's landing a good one. I mean, he had a backflip of a 5. So for sure that move will improve on that. But I don't think it's not going to be enough. Chris McDonald is going to be the one that takes it. Chris. Tom Court is tuning in. We're on a journey over here, buddy. It's all kicking off. It's gone Pete Tong over here in Tarifa. As Chris McDonald, maybe he knows he's won, maybe he doesn't. But talk about a way to finish her off. Go on, have another one. Oh, he's done a combo. Classic McDonald's combo there. Huge front flip into that front side 3. Let's watch this again just for good measure. Big, and then watch the pop. Boom. I mean, he goes higher on that pop than some people do on their jumps. And I think, and I'm pretty sure, that it is over. So there we have it. Christopher McDonald is your 2024 GWA Tarifa Surf-Freestyle champion for the 2nd year in a row. Unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable final. What a time to be alive. As you can see there, all riders coming in, the American flag flying high. And I can confirm that we have Christopher McDonald in first, Axel Gerard in second, the Big B, Bastien Escofet in third, and the local lad, Xavi Kaur, in fourth. And Christopher McDonald has done it once again. This kid doesn't stop. I mean, him and Niaswar Diaz are just the front runners in Surf-Freestyle at the moment. Another win for Chris. That is win after win. He's done the double. Taken the win in France a month ago. Now the win here in Tarifa. Loves competing here. From Hood River, Oregon. Just keeps on delivering. And the drone is giving us the vibes there from above. Xavi Kaur probably a little bit disappointed in the way that he competed, or his heat went there. Low score for him to open up with. I mean, that was a combined score for Xavi of 20.43. But that's probably one of his, I think maybe his lowest combined score of the whole event. Definitely had the opportunity to give Chris a run for his money, as did Bastien and Axel. But when it comes to those final heats, when it comes to when it matters, it's this guy on your screen, the current Surf-Freestyle world champion. That is the man to beat. I mean, you cannot get close to this guy at the moment. I mean, let's just have a look at these scores. So 2 innovation scores. One was an 8.93, the other a 9.23. And then just to put the nail in the coffin at the end there, a 9.43 on the back mob front side 3. Incredible scenes here at the GWA event in Tarifa. Valda Vaqueros, an amazing competition. What a show from all of our riders. I mean, you know, not just the men here. The women yesterday put on an amazing display in tricky conditions. You know, we had a stormy Tarifa morning yesterday. The wind then filled in, able to push on and get the final with the women. Niaswar Diaz again taking the title. Final was great. We saw Mardi Arte as well. And also Bowen van der Linden get a little bit of a buzzer beater, finishing in second. Sophia Marchetti as well, another rider, doing exceptionally well on tour. And then moving on to the big dogs, the men. Bastien Escofet there on the left-hand side. You can see finishing in third place, Axel Gerard in the middle. And then we have fourth place, Xavi Kaur on the right, flying the Spanish flag. And then our champion here, Christopher McDonald. What a time to be alive. You can see there, prime Tarifa. Love coming here for the GWA. We know we've been here as well with the GKA for Big Air. It's just such a great location. If you have never been to Tarifa before, get yourself a ticket over here. Plenty to do on and off the water. Great food, great vibes, great wind. 300 plus days of wind every single year without fail. And we enjoy coming back here every single year for the GWA. There are your 4 finalists. And once again, a huge congratulations to Christopher McDonald for taking the title once again here in Tarifa. So Joe now just announcing your top 4 finishes. You can see Xavi Kaur there. And you can see Bastien Escofet there getting called out in third place. Nice and windy down there for the flag with Xavi. And in second place we can see Axel, the Axe as Joe likes to refer to him as, Gerard. So good to see these guys with a smile on their face after the water, pushing the boundaries of wingfoiling. And there he is. Your champion, Christopher McDonald, once again in a league of his own. And the drone shot there, beautiful settings. And we want to thank everyone at home for tuning in to what has been an amazing event. Truly, truly fantastic event here. As next up we will be going to the Canary Islands. Exciting times ahead. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. What an epic day of competition. You can see I'm on my own at the moment as Joe is down at the beach. But amazing. I mean, from start to finish, like I said just there on the stream, I mean, the women pushing the limits of the sport once again. And then the men today, quarterfinals we started off with, the classic Pondiente, nice and flat during the day. And then once the wind switched round, you know, that thermic breeze kicked in and we saw some amazing show from start all the way to finish. I mean, I said at the start, every heat is going to be like a final. The quarterfinals were insane. Then we went over to the semifinals. Once again, insane. And then the final started off a little bit shaky. I think riders were trying to get in the groove a little bit. But then it really came into its own. Amazing stuff. Once again, Christopher McDonald. I mean, this guy is unbelievable what he is doing at the moment. I mean, they all are pushing the sport crazy. But he's the guy to beat. Can he be taken at the following events this year? We will have to wait and see because we have more on the 2024 calendar coming your way. Keep track of the socials, keep track of the tour, keep track of the riders, and we will keep the content and the competitions coming your way. Cannot wait to see you all at the next one. My name's been Liam Dredge. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you very soon.
Welcome to the GWA Wingfoiling World Tour event.
We're gonna experience an insane wingfoil competition.
This one is gonna stay in my mind forever.
It's gonna be sick.
What are we going to be seeing next?
This is not an ad. It's a warning. I know a place that will break you into 1,000 pieces, that will enter through those cracks and will stay and live in you. Run! Run! No, better stay in Manhattan. Get an apartment in Berlin. Stay away from them. Stay away from Lorca, Paco, and Picasso. Don't ask about Lola. Don't listen to the poets who have been here. Ay, Caballo Grande. Ay, Dolor de Nieve. Ay, ay! But in spite of everything, it occurs to you to visit Andalusia. Don't say I didn't warn you. Be careful of the Andalusian crush.